think that's I'm going to go South Bunbury by 12 points, I think, for me. I just think that South Bunbury, as you said, they've had a really, really good year. They put the guys on the park every week. They've had multiple goal scorers every week. They found the footy. I think HBL will put it up to them. It'll be a lot closer game than what we've maybe seen throughout the year, is my thoughts, but I think South Bunbury will still come out on top.
Yeah, I probably think about 4 or 5 goals, somewhere in that area. So, yeah, it'll be, I think field play will be, we'll see quite a good contest. Scoreboard might not reflect that at the end, but we may get a complete surprise result. Who knows?
Yeah, so time will tell as we get ready to get underway here for the first quarter. Thanks to the team at Southwest Isuzu. The new Isuzu D-Max life is reinvigorated. The reserves are just making their way off field. Umpires out on the ground. Today's umpires for the league are Kai Skoda and Kevin Hutchins. On the field, boundary of Brady Larson, Emma Hutchins and Ash Jennings, and in the goals, Vance Burton and Jason Morrow. We're not too far away from getting underway, but have you had any thoughts around the Hayward medal this year? Have you put your tip in or prediction for that while we're looking at predictions?
I thought here he comes. He's not too black eye, so he didn't do any rounds with Greenie, so he got away unscathed. No, obviously I've seen my young bloke playing HBL. I watch most of their games, and I think Ty Anderson, he's just a real eye catcher. He run and carry, his pace. They've won quite a few games. He's played every game, so South probably got a few that take votes off each other. Bain had a good start to the year. The other sides, I probably haven't seen enough of them to sort of predict what's what. So I would say Ty Anderson would be my tip, mainly because I've seen most of their games, and he's always been their best, one of their best every week. And Big Fletcher probably.
As Craney puts a headset on, I probably should have turned that off before he put it on. Let's welcome Alan Crane to commentary, mate. I've tried to hold up your end of the bargain. John's been looking at me sideways saying, what was that question all about? But I think we've done it as we get ready for the first quarter here, thanks to Southwest Isuzu.
Good afternoon all, and yes, I was looking forward to this one. What a magnificent afternoon we had in there, actually, boys. It was...
Must have been hard to keep away from the bar, was it, before the commentary, Craney?
It was extremely difficult, and I think I upset Danny Green with my first question, so that was a good move, upsetting the world champion of boxing.
What was the question? That's the... that's what...
I went to a fight. You remember the fight that he got 29 seconds lasted for?
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, and he probably wasn't very happy about that one, so I opened with that one, so it was a good afternoon in there. He speaks extremely well. Danny Green? Probably
better off to get that one out of the way first, so then it's all smooth sailing from the rest of it.
I spent the next hour trying to get out of the hole that I was in.
What was he knocked you into?
Yeah.
Well, Craney gets ready for the first quarter here as the team's just warming up, and play should be underway in the next 5 minutes. We have a quick look around the grounds thanks to Geograph Civil. Still no change in that game down there in Dunsborough. 11-3, 69-0-1. 1 point for Dunsborough. Donnybrook 9-1-55 to Kerry Park 2-4-16. So Donnybrook looking at that advancing one spot up the ladder here as umpires call in the players to kickstart South Bunbury taking on HBL. The final rounds of the Southwest Football League before we lead into finals. Craney, I'm excited.
Yes, it's amazing, isn't it? The end of the home and away season, and interesting results. I'm sure you blokes talked about it with AMR going down to Bunbury and Donnybrook off to a pretty good start. Donnybrook could well end up getting a home final.
Yeah, we just don't know which home.
Well, that's right.
The fixture committee are meeting tonight, so we should have an answer by tomorrow, and we'll know where that's being played. Of course, has been said that juniors footy would take up the main grounds in Bunbury, so it could be an Eton or a Brunswick Craney. Where would you rather play, you think?
Well, I think Eton or Brunswick, they've both got good facilities, but Eton would be an interesting one, wouldn't it? I don't think there's been a final played at Eton.
No, actually, I didn't even think of that. Would be the logical from Boyne up to Eton Shire. It's all part of sort of hand in hand. If that was the case, I don't think there'd be a problem there.
No, that's true. And how far did we get up to, boys? Have we gone through the teams?
We've done a lot, mate.
Yeah.
You've done the lot.
You just sit back and
You
relax.
sit back and relax.
We're getting paid the big bucks today.
You get
I
paid.
might as well go back.
Yes. Love, I
join the
don't know
green
what part of
machine.
love is free.
Magnificent new scoreboard on the outer side there too.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, we were just talking about it. It was amazing. As South Bunbury win the toss and kick towards the city end or the northern end at Hands Oval. But how good does it look? Be good if you could see your the grand final, your mug up on there. But you won't be here, Croney.
Oh, I'll be here with my cardboard cutout, Jared. You're looking after me. Johnny Badge, well, he was going to look after me, but I was a bit worried about my cardboard health there. So a couple of good ins for the South, a couple of big outs. Jay Crosman. I spoke to him before. He's still pretty up and about, but yes, a nasty leg injury.
Yeah, we went through that. Yeah, they'll miss him more so if they one of the bigger guys goes down in Pedley or Horsman or something like that, because it just takes away that bit of flexibility that they have with the tools to be able to run through the ruck or key forward, key back. So, you know, that's a. I mean, you don't like seeing, as you said, you don't want anyone injured, but it's a big out for them. If someone can really apply the heat to them long enough, it'll be interesting.
Well, he is without doubt one of the best backmen in the league, isn't he,
Yep.
John? So Horsman has gone back, so we're not very far away from a start here, Jared, for the last home and away game of the season.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic, isn't it? I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be. We haven't had your prediction actually, Craney. What do you think the winner and score?
Oh, look, I think South will keep their winning bit going, but gee, I tell you what, John was saying HBL played an outstanding game. Big ask for young Pedley against Fletcher this afternoon in the ruck. Fletcher's a man mountain, very experienced. As the ball is held aloft, this is SEN Spirit, and this is John Bajetta.
Up they go. Pedley over the top gets a knock. Fletcher gets hands. He handballs to Gaboni. Over the shoulder he goes into high half forward. It bounces over top of right there. Bouch is taken high. He's drawn to the ground. And the umpire says, yep, over the shoulder. Just inside the centre square. He's going to drive the HBL into attack. Drives that ball to about 40 out. The kick shallow, and Goiter, as he does so often, just intercepts.
You're right there. He must take a million intercept marks across the season, Goiter.
Yep, so he chips right onto the far side. I think it's Cormac out there. He's still in the defensive 50. He doesn't know where to go. He's called a play on now. He's put himself under a bit of pressure. He's good enough to get around. Just chips down the line to Bain. Still in that defensive 50. He goes into the centre of the ground. He finds Riley. He handballs to a running Waldrop. He drives a left foot long towards Siska, running onto a loose ball. He can't take it. Now there's a foot race back towards the south goal. A number of players around it. Siska goes in, picks up, handballs back inside to Nordell. Ethan Nordell. He handballs back towards Riley. Riley on the left foot just steadies up, has a good look, and that's gone straight over the goal umpire's head. Through the first major. He's kicked that from about 53 metres out. Well composed. Had plenty of time to have a look at the goal mouth, and he slobbed that straight through Craney off to a good start.
I think that was the pivotal thing at the time. They had the HBL players didn't close them down. Lockie Riley's been in outstanding form for the last, since he's got back from that hand injury, and he made no mistake about that. And you're right, Johnny, he just laid back and just went whack onto that.
Yep.
But they moved the ball very quickly due South, and you need to be very aware of your surroundings for the defensive unit for HBL.
Yeah, the numbers went to the footy, which is what you do, but they stayed off, as you said, and he just had an eternity of time to do whatever he wanted. And I said he was composed, and he got the journey quite easy in the end. So back to the middle of the ground, Fletcher and Pedley, up they go. Fletcher this time gets to the front. He can't take the ball. Bain's recipient of the loose ball. He drives his right foot over the shoulder out towards the play there in Siska, but John Fenwick cuts that off. He goes down the line towards Piper. Will he keep it in? He does. He's got a runner inside. He goes back to his skipper in Fenwick. He just chips that ball to half forward. And Tartaglia just couldn't rake that in one hand, but he's good enough to win back the footy. He's tripped, is he? Umpire calls play on. Now he'll be dropping the ball. It's going to be no play. There's all sorts. No one to make it. He did. Bain gets the ball. His kick smothered, and that's going to go out of bounds. Touched over the line on that far side.
We don't talk much about Bain throughout the season, but he's been very, very good pickup from South. He gets a lot of the footy in that midfield area and very good with it.
Yeah, he just seems to sit off the contest, and he links them up. It's a boundary throw in on that far side. Pedley gets his way to the front. He takes it out of the air. He's wrapped up. The ball goes back towards Riley. He handballs back to Cormac. Goes down that wing. Good contest down there, but Bodie Nordell. No, it's Ethan Nordell. He was just too tall for his opponent there and takes a good mark on that far wing. He goes one way or the other. He swings out to the scoreboard pocket. Out there is Bourne. He puts his hands in the back of young... get his name right, Ned Golter, and he takes the mark from about, he's called to play on now, right in front of the scoreboard. He goes long to the vacant goal square.
Oh, yeah,
back, and I tell you what, he's,
wow.
it's carried Tiffy fingers and it's gone all the way through, and that was a good kick because he was hard up against the paint there, Craney in front of the scoreboard, and all class there from Richie Bourne. He slotted his first of the afternoon.
Well, we've already got a nomination for Western Northwest Services Goal of the Day. Even Jared O'Brien gave that one a little clap as it went through the sticks. That was a magnificent kick of the footy. I thought he was going to go to the top of the square, John.
I thought he probably was very lucky he didn't get pinged for pushing two hands in the back. I mean, we're 250 metres away and it was as clear as day. It wasn't a big push, but when you put two hands in the back, you sort of leave yourself open. But anyway, he took the mark.
I think the last time these two sides, South got off to an absolute flyer. So HBL want to be a little bit careful with the opening stages of this quarter.
It's just going into there. We've said before, without Jared Humphries and Blake Offer, going inside 50 has been their Achilles heel so far, and 3 times they've gone forward. So Ruckman, loose ball now. Connor Caboni, he handballs out. It's cut off there. Picked up there by Cormac, is it? He's going to run onto his own loose ball. Siska comes up at it. Caboni picks it up. He handballs to Piper. He goes over the top towards his skipper in Fenwick. Onto the left boot. He drives inside to half forward. Ward can't take the mark. Well rode there by Tartaglia. He's got a loose in Boucher. Will it sit for him? No, it won't. Piggott can't take it. Now Boucher gets on it. He gives it back to Pierce Ferguson. He just lollies that off to the boot, but he's lucks a fortune. There's a relay free kick as he's slung tackled apparently after he got rid of it. It's probably a disadvantage because Ward was going to run onto a loose ball and he was going to kick that to the teeth of the goal square.
And give South a bit of time to
So that was a good kick from Pierce Ferguson. He finds Billy Boucher 48 metres out, almost directly in front. I'm not sure he'll get the journey here, Craney.
Billy Boucher's got a great name for footy though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got a, I would play him out of the goal square, not having Humphries or Offer here.
Humphries, John?
He's having a rest then. One of them ones where maybe a rest will suit him for next week. So in comes Boucher. He's going to kick right on the paint. He's gone wide to get that extra yard. It's going to sit to the goal line. Up they go. Down there was Milner almost over the top and just goes off hands. We made mention of him before the game. He's got a few tricks, this kid, but that's just rolled through. Now Goiter, quickly he plays on. Straight down the middle of the ground. Number of players. Who's going to be first to the footy? Well, a good mark taken there by Chitty. He just he come in behind the contest and he's taken uncontested. He goes out wide towards Cormac. The ball doesn't sit well. Big Fletcher, he takes them all on. The big ruckman. He bends down, picks up a loose footy.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, he squares inside to Tartaglia. He's got a runner outside in Connor Caboni. He runs to the paint at 50. He can go all the way here, Craney. He's got some serious skills. To the top of the goal square. Which way will it bounce? It rolls through and rolls out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in on the right-hand side as South Bunbury lead 2 straight 12. Lead HBL 1 behind 1 as we've played 5.5, 6 minutes into the first quarter.
Big Fletcher, he's pretty handy, isn't he? That was pretty mobile bit of work by the fella.
I thought if Cormac picks this up, what's he going to do? The ruck not forward to Ward. Tripped over there was Milner, tripped over his own feet. His handball to the goal square. There was no one there but all South Bunbury. Picked up out there. As your pressure does it. Latrell May's taken a ball. A loose kick coming to the South Bunbury player who tripped over as he kicked it. He kicked it in the hands of Latrell May. He just snapped it over his shoulder. So HBL get a much needed goal. They move to 1-1-7. They trail South Bunbury 2 straight 12 and taking most of opportunities, Craney.
Absolutely, and I think Cole Sawyer, normally a very dependable backman, if he gave his time again, probably would have let that one go through. But he kept it in. Yeah, miskicked it.
The goal square is pretty worn. He's half slipped. He was a bit of slip slide and comment, as you said, just the experience you'd run that through. But
it's good. That's the confidence South have got in each other, though. They will take the game on. Good goal by HBL, though. As you said, they're getting enough of the footy forward.
We said before the game, they've got to get it in. They've got to get it in quick. They don't really have a big target up there and experience. It's going to be left to young Milner, but when Caboni and them blokes can run through the midfield, it just gives them another look. So up they go in the middle of the ground. Fletcher goes in. He gives it to Anderson. He runs one way. He runs the other. He's got Piggott closing down. Gets a kick away. He goes to his partner in crime in Connor Caboni. The ball doesn't sit. Now he gets it out the back. Luck's a fortune. He's on his trusty left foot. Just drills that back into centre half forward. Well done there by Riley. He can't take it. Picked up there from Fletcher. He's everywhere at the moment. He gives a handball to Caboni. He takes a half volley. He's held without the footy. Play on's a call. Well done there by Goiter. He just moves his way through, is it? No, it's Riley. He comes out wide to Piggott, right in front of his coach. He drives the ball down forward. Oh, well done there. This kid can jump. He can jump from nowhere. As young Luke Bennett.
CPR outdoor centre. Mark of the day.
He's not over tall, but he can jump. He jump over that scoreboard. That kid. He doesn't need a step ladder to jump off. So Anderson, he's got the ball. He goes right into the middle of the ground to young Templeton. He runs away from his opponent into centre forward. He goes at the back. Good mark there from young. I think it's Bronson Martin. He's another young kid on his permit from Peel today.
Yeah, they're moving the ball pretty well, HBL at the moment. Plenty of space out there, isn't there?
Yeah, as I said to you last week, the second quarter they played as good a footy as I've seen them play, and with some of these kids back, as I said, they're not all qualified for the finals, which is a bit of a shame for them.
We said during the show they had a real good patch at the start of the year, then they had a bit of a lull, and as you said, they're working back in at the right time of year.
Yeah, so in he goes, kicks from 45 metres out. I tell you what, she's not a bad kick. That's held its line, and they go to 2-1-13. They lead South Bunbury 2 straight 12, and early stages of the game, we've got a pretty good contest here.
That young fella back from Peel, did you say, John?
Yeah, Bronson Martin. He's been in some good form up there, they tell me. I think he may qualify him for. He's played his 6 games with today, I think. That gets him over the line, so he'll be available next week. And I think he's qualified for Colts as well. So that's a big fill up for them. This young one running onto the field now, and young Will York. Just keep your eye on him, Croney, because this kid is a serious player.
Can we go around the ground shortly? Thanks, Jared. Thanks to Geograph Civil. As we.
So on the
Nothing like throwing it on you.
While he's looking at that, the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, 12 plays 13, HBL with their nose in front. Fletcher takes it out of the middle of the ground. He gives it to Will York. He comes out wide to Piper. He goes one way or the other. He's going to get caught. Just gets boot to ball. It rolls towards the last goal kicker in Manson. He's good enough to keep his feet. Drives the ball to the top of the goal square. He's going to cover the line, is it? It's I tell you what, it has covered. It has rolled, mongreled and dollied, and she's gone through for another. And that's we were talking about before the game. The only way you're going to beat South or have any chance of beating them is centre clearance and get it in quick, get it in ugly, just get it in the quickest way you can and put their backs under pressure, because they haven't been under a hell of a lot of pressure all year. And they move to 3-1-19. They lead South 2 goals straight 12 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard.
That was pretty well. Ball handling was good there from Bronson Martin. He was in amongst a bit of traffic there, but
capped it to his advantage. Yeah, you did
so
right.
Done it pretty well. But you're right about the around the contest. That's something South pride themselves on. It's the stats, thanks to Arlo Beach Bar and Grill, are well and truly in South's favour. How are you going for those Geograph Civil around the ground?
14-3-87. Bustleton Dunsborough kicked their first goal 1-2-8. That's in the third quarter. Kerry Park 4-5-29. Donnybrook leading 11-2-68 in the second quarter.
Wow.
So Waldrop out of the middle of the ground. He drives the ball to half forward. Numbers all around it. Now picked up there from young Templeton. He handballs backwards towards Williams, and he can't take the loose ball. Now a number of players around it. Someone's South applies a very good tackle.
Donnybrook score. There was
the Bustleton score?
A lot to not much.
Yeah.
68-29 in Donnybrook's favour.
Wow. Can they make it?
Yes, they will.
So 40 metres out from the south goal. Fletcher, Pedley over the top. Number of players around it. We're going to have another ball up. 12 plays 19. HBL with their nose in front on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard.
Yeah, good start to the game, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's plenty of space out there too.
Well, there certainly is. And as I said, it's more the run of the young guys of HBL. If they can just stay in the game and not get bullied around too much, then as their confidence grows, the game will stay as a contest and it won't be a blowout.
Confidence is a very important cog, isn't it?
It certainly is. Picked up there by Boucher. He handballs to Templeton. He goes back and gets his loose ball again. He handballs to Anderson. This ball doesn't sit. It does now. He's got Riley and Nordell. He goes one way or the other. He turns them inside out. Comes back into the dangerous kick into the middle of the ground, but he's hit Taggart smack bang in the middle of the ground. He got Piper on the outside at half forward. He takes the mark in front of Cormac. No 50 metres there, son. Go back and get the footy and get the ball in before the numbers get back. So right on the point.
I love the run and the vision that HBL have got at the moment.
He's got York in front of us loose. He's going to use him. No, he's not. He should have. And now he's called to play on. Now he's forced to use him. So Will York, he's just in front of us, wide half forward. What's he got in front of him? He's got Boucher. I can see him loose in the forward pocket. He goes in that direction. Oh, so hold there to Goiter. He's young bloke's got to learn to play in front. The experience of Tom Goiter just goes wide out there to Blake Riley deep in defence. He's now called to play on, goes one way or the other, gets onto his left boot, drives a low kick out to that far wing. This is going to be Bourne's pushed off the line of the ball. Well done there by Goiter. He gives it back to Ty Anderson. He just chips that ball inside to Hammer Ward. And young Hamish Ward takes an uncontested mark in front of Tommy Goiter, 45 metres out, almost directly in front. And this would be a fairly handy goal, Croney.
Well, that was real positive for HBL, because when Lachlan Riley went to look upfield, normally he's got options galore, but there was none. He had to turn around and look the other way. So a big plus to HBL early on.
It's just, so we spoke about it. They're playing with confidence, and as that ball's going to go short. Oh, Milner, well done there by Horsman, is it? Good mark deep in the fence. He just squares wide to the back pocket in Riley. What will he do on take two? He's got a loose coming towards him there. Oh, bad kick, and almost cut off there for the player in HBL in young Saulis. He runs on, puts it up and under. Milner's got 3 to beat. No, young Latrell May. He beat him all right, fair and square. He's taken the mark on his chest about 23, 24 metres out on a 45-degree angle, and this will be a real important goal, if you could say, if every goal's important, but this just gets a bit of separation.
Well, didn't he? He turned his body into the South defenders and almost put him down for a CPR outdoor centre mark of the day. He did that very well for a young man.
He had a bit of height around him, but as you said, Croney, and he slotted, it's just held its line to the left. It would have been a very, very handy goal. So 3-2-9-20, lead 2 straight 12 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. We've been going 13 and a half minutes in the first quarter.
And we're looking for a tackle of the game thanks to Bunbury Mower Services today. Although there hadn't been a lot of tackles laid, there seems to be a lot of free-running footy.
It is, you're right. So back in the middle of the ground, real good kick. Out the back there is Tane Williamson. He's picked it up. He's tackled. Well done there by the South player. Bodie Nordell gives it to Horsman. He's forced to just slap that on the boot. Fletcher plays in front of Pedley. Good contest of the 2 big men on the ground. Well done there by Piggott. He goes in low. He's well wrapped up there by the HBL player in Templeton, I think it was. And the umpire said, give it here. They're almost in the centre of the ground. So 20 plays 12. Early, middle part of this first quarter, Fletcher over the top. And the loose ball, who's going to win the race of ball? Riley can't sock it off the ground. HBL have numbers now, picked up there by Connor Caboni. He's handballed wide to his teammate there. And now Ned Gorder on the far wing. He drives that ball to half forward. Good kick in front of Milner. Good contest out there. And the South Bunbury defence there, and Jack Wright just got a good spoil. Over the line, out of bounds. She rolls on the high half forward for HBL.
That's going to be a good matchup through Southern Lachlan Security, young Jack Wright and Milner.
Yeah.
Young Jack Wright was talking to Lee before. His dad just looks like he sort of worked his way back into league footy. He was finding his feet before, but played a couple of good games for late. Yeah,
that was. He's going to have his running shoes on today because they're going to move around a fair bit. That was a horrible throw-in. Play-on's a call. Fletcher just does his own roving. He's pushed off the line of the ball by Siska. He gives it to Ethan Nordell. He goes up and under towards half forward. Number of players around it. Real good. Oh, the umpire called play on. Wasn't Bain. It was young 27 in Tyson Lane. He couldn't take the mark. She's gone now. Is it out of bounds on the full, is it? On that far wing. Will York, what's he going to do? Drives that ball to half forward. Number of players around this. South have the option. Oh, that's a real good leap and a good mark to young John Manuel. He centres the ball. Not the best kick. Into centre half forward. Good mark there by Mitchell Bain. Wrong option there from the young HBL player. He's kicked, put his player under all sorts of pressure. Now Bain goes across the high half forward. Lane takes a good mark. Now he's on the point of the centre square. Where's he going to go? He's got Blaine Johnson lead up, straight up the middle of the ground. Oh, well done there by young Saulis, I think it is. Good handball to Tane Williams. Deep in defence. What's he going to do? Come up the middle of the ground. Good kick. Finds Manuel.
Gee, they're playing with confidence. It's good to watch.
It's see-man, hit-man, basically, and don't try and do
But they're
things.
also spreading out, so you've got options to go. The ball carrier's actually got options.
Yeah, they certainly have. Bennett, that centre half forward, Luke Bennett, what's he got? He's got a runner. He's got 2 out there. He goes out wide to Will York. This ball's going to sit. He's got a paddock. He's looking at options as he runs onto a loose ball. He gets 1 bounce. He can go again. He's got a lot of confidence, this kid. He drives that ball to half forward. He's got a loose out there in Ferguson. Will it sit for him? No, it won't. She rolls out of bounds, 60 metres away from their goal. They probably waste a bit of an opportunity there going forward.
Yeah, they had plenty of space on that outer side, but at least they're running to create options, and they're making the South defenders think about it, because too often players are too slow getting it in there, as you said, John, and South are enough to bottle it back, and once they bottle it back, they're like a springboard going forward.
Fletcher just moves Pedley out of the way. Run picked up there by Ziska. He gives it to Waldrop on his left foot. Good smother there by Saulis. I think the player. That was a bit unlucky. Picked up there by who was the player? Will York. He just puts it in front of Milner. Well done there by Wright. He runs onto the loose ball. Onto the right boot it goes. Right for right. Out there's Will York. He goes to the ground. Gets up. He's tackled high. Play on's the call. What's the umpire going to do here? He says, give it here. I'll ball it up. Good contest on the far side.
Jarrett's keeping an eye on for our best on ground, thanks to Carpet Supermarket. I know you're keeping an eye on it, mate.
Keeping an eye on everything here.
Fletcher, he goes over the top. Number of players on ground. Bain can't get the handball out. Now she's all in. The umpire says, what am I going to do here? There's stacks on, and we'll ball it up right on that far side on the high half forward for HBL in front of the logo out there, McDonald's.
Can you keep an eye on the Rising Star? Thanks to Hemp Brothers as well, Jared.
Onto it.
I'm giving you a big list, eh?
Ruck infringement there, was it? So Pedley's going to be the recipient.
Started off a good duel, hasn't it, Pedley and Fletcher?
Play on's a call. Bourne's gone deep to get into the play. He's kicked down the line. Is that Lane? He's taken the mark. He just squealed. He's called the play on now. He's got a runner out on his side in young player in Baskerville, is it? He goes over the top. Now Bain's going to run on a loose ball. He's got a couple of steps. He goes back one way or the other. He's got Bodie Nordell there. He's one way or the other. Gets around Fenwick. He's squeezed into the pocket. Kick was short there. Picked up there by the South Bunbury player, Blaine Johnson, is it? He's one way or the other. Gives it to Waldrop on the left foot. He had a bit more time then. He's gone shallow to the left side. Through for a minor score. 2-2-14. Plays 3-2-20 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. HBL play on. They got a 2-on-1 on the other side. York's just got into the man in front of him, Nordell. Play on's a call. Blake Pickett picks up the loose ball, and he's got a loose there. Is it Waldrop? He's marked straight in front, 45 metres out. He should go back and make amends from his last effort and get the Tigers back onto the scoreboard.
He's had a pretty good season as Cade Waldrop. Of course, kicked 10 goals in one game this season that we were privy to. So see if he can open his account this afternoon.
Well, he's a known goal kicker, as you said, Craney. His first year back here, he was regularly hitting the scoreboard. So in he comes. He'll kick from about 45, 50 metres out on the left boot. Oh, it's a horrible kick, but it's gone to the left post. Oh, there he goes again, jumping Jack Young. Luke Bennett, he has taken a few.
Can we put that down for the almost mark today? CPR Outdoor Centre. He was miles in the air.
He was almost on top of the goalpost.
That's
how high he
was. Absolute beauty. It's got to be a big E for effort there.
Yeah,
Don.
so Neddy Golder, he plays on. Brings the ball back into play. He's got that man himself in Luke Bennett, deep into a defence. He just chips that ball. He's missed all players there. Bajetta runs onto the ball. He's wrapped up. Handballs to Anderson. He goes one way or the other. Gets through three. That's a good handball towards Will York. Through the middle of the ground he comes. He goes one bounce. He's got a loose over the top. Can he draw? That's a great kick towards John Manuel. Will the ball sit for him? He runs on. He's got two South in pursuit. Just rolls that ball off the end of the boot to the left-hand side of the goal post she goes. That deserved a goal.
Talk about transition in play. That was as quick as we've seen. That was absolutely
what we're seeing, Craney, is young legs. These kids are, they're playing up at Peel and wherever else they're playing, and they're playing with a bit of confidence. They're playing with flair and they're playing with speed.
Yeah, and no fear.
That's right. And to be honest, South haven't had this pressure from a side as not physical pressure. It's not physical. This is all run and stun. So this is something different they've had to come up against. So we'll see what they can do now. So South through Crawford comes down inside. Pedley's Fletcher spoils. Play on's a call. Who's going to win the race back? Pedley. Well done. He's onto the loose ball. He tries to soccer it. Now Piper comes in for the sport. Golter's coming across the line of the footy. He puts on a good shepherd there. Piper just chips over the top and he's got Templeton loose. HBL got numbers everywhere. He's got Anderson in front of the South Bunbury coach's box. If this sits here, he had to go to ground. Otherwise he would have turned inside out and run then. Right in front of the interchange box is Ty Anderson.
You'd be wary playing on him, wouldn't you? He gets off of the...
That's one job you wouldn't want because, I said, he's got wheels. He just goes over the top and he finds Connor Caboni right in front of the South Bunbury coach's box.
Just thanks to MGIB too, like a good neighbour MGIB. I was just sitting with Gags in there, actually.
Caboni goes down the line. Out comes Milner. He's pushed under the ball. Play on's a call. Goyder picks up a loose footy. He chips inside towards Chitty. He's still at half back. So South under a bit of pressure here, trying to move the ball forward. What's he going to do? He's going to come short. No, he's not. Now he's going to force to go long down the line towards the ruckman. HBL got the numbers there. Fletcher's wins a race of footy. Pedley now picks up. He just whacks that onto the boot. Who's this going to bounce in front of Blaine Johnson? He comes hard at the footy. He just knocks that on over the top. Who's got the race of the footy? Siska, is it? He picks up a loose ball. He goes forced to handball wide. Pickett running. Well done. Wow. He just crashes his way through. His handball is towards Blaine Johnson. He check sides that, and that's gone. The left-hand side of the post for a much-needed major to South Bunbury. That was very well done there by Blake Pickett. He just wanted that footy more than anyone else. He comes through at 100 mile an hour, got the handball over towards Blaine Johnson, and he's experienced and he's done the rest.
For any young players looking out there, attack the footy, and that's exactly what Pickett did then. He just 100 mile an hour, as you said, everyone got out of his road. He just was on a mission, give the nice little handball over and South hit back.
Hit targets going forward, and South now have just got to rethink about what they're doing through the pressures on. They can't run one way, they've got to run back the other way and see if, how they're going to go about it. Fletcher to York, he can't pick it up. Bain picks it up, slaps it towards half forward. Out comes the skipper in HBL for Johnny Fenwick. He's held without footy. Play on now. The umpire finally says, yep, I've seen that, so he'll take...
It'd be a good game to umpire, wouldn't it, be in this open?
It's going, it's moving at good pace. Will York, he's racked up possession since he's been on. He's got a loose out here on the wing. He uses him now in Ned Golter, not the best kick. He puts Golter under all sorts of pressure. He beats the tackle there from Siska, but no, the umpire said you threw that, which is fair enough. The first kick wasn't ideal, so Now South got a loose inside. Who is it? Riley. Right on. Oh, he's called to play on now. He sidesteps Ferguson. He just barrels that on the left foot torpedo. Deep it's going. South have got the numbers out the back. And a good mark there from Cade Waldrod about 10, 12 metres out in the 45-degree angle. But you'd be thinking on his left foot he'll slot this through.
Yeah, and that's where sides are running against, trouble against South. You make that one little mistake that sometimes you get away with the lesser sides, but they just pounce on that, and that's what happened then, and it results in Waldrod having a shot for goal.
Yeah, it was a bad disposal by York. That's straight over the goal umpire's head. They moved to 4-2-26. They lead HBL's 3-2-20 on the Southwest side Suzu scoreboard. Yeah, you miss the target. They had the space. It just had you kicked off the back foot. You keep the basics, do the basics well, and the rest will follow suit. But you start trying to be too cute, and then you pay the price.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't be stopping doing if I was
doing
what HBL do. They're throwing it out there. That was a turnover.
Yep.
But on the whole, they've had a pretty good quarter.
They've created space, and that's.
Is it Will York?
Yeah.
He started off the season, the game pretty well.
Well, I'm saying he's played 2 games this year for HBL and he's been best on both times. So he knows his way around the field. He's composed normally. I said, everyone makes a mistake. Unfortunately, that was costly. So back to the middle of the ground. Rucks are going to go to it again.
So we got Bourne in the middle of the ground for a bit of a run around.
He's come up to try and get himself into the play. So middle of the ground we go again. Pedley goes early. Fletcher almost takes it. Riley runs onto a loose ball. He can't pick it up. Now he does. He goes one way or the other. Good handball back to support from Nordell. He kicks off the back foot into the middle of the ground. He goes. Bain picks up. Oh, he's run down. Well done there by Connor Caboni. Play on's a call. And the umpire says almost got him high. But the umpire said give it out. Almost in the middle of the ground. 26 plays 21. Later stages of the first quarter. Rucks go at it. No clear winner there. Ball to the ground. Now there's a fight for the footy, and the umpire Hutchison said, give it here. I'll throw it up again on the edge of the centre circle.
Thanks to City and Regional Fuels for your support this afternoon. Well, it's going to be a kick to HBL.
Is it? Must have been something happened as they got up off the ground. So Tartaglia almost in the middle of the ground. What's he going to do? Boucher leads up. He just pokes that over the top. Oh, well done there, Manuel. He drops what he should have taken. Just too casual. You can't do that, son. Now Riley onto the left boot. It rolls down towards half forward. A race on here. Oh, well done there from Luke Bennett. He can run, he can jump, he can do everything. He's taken the ground by Nordell. And what's the umpire going to say? Ooh, geez, that was harsh. But anyway. You take the footy, you've got to get it moving. Ethan Nordell drives the right foot in towards the Blaine Johnson. Well done there by Johnny Fenwick. He's played the chop. And
he's a good defender, isn't he, Johnny
That was
Fenwick?
well done because normally Johnson just keeps coming and takes whatever's in his way. So it was courage to stand in the hole and he's been rewarded. He chips wide to Will York in front of that light tower down there in the back pocket. What's he got ahead?
We're actually looking for a best defender too, thanks to Garage Doors Southwest. So Johnny Fenwick has been there, one of them for a long time.
Yep, down the line it goes. Fletcher's in front. Pedley comes over the top, right in front of the HBL dugout, and she rolls out of bounds and we'll have a boundary throw in. 25, almost 26 minutes played in the first quarter. 26 plays 21 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard.
And if the camera peels around the Lomax ledge, we'll just go to Dean's having a bit of a look at that.
We should have jumped up there.
It's getting closer, Dino.
Rucks at it. Fletcher, he just slaps it to the boundary line. York leads a race back, but the ball beats him over the line and out of bounds.
And it is panning up to Lomax. We welcome all the viewers on SEN Spirit watching the telecast or broadcast. What are we going to call it, Jared?
Yeah, broadcast.
Whole lot will do.
So, stalemate in front of the HBL dugout. The boundary throw in. Who's in front? Fletcher hits that back. Oh, well done there by Waldrop. He drives that ball long to Blaine Johnson area. Fenwick comes off his man. Oh, he overruns it. Now Siska picks up. He goes back to Blaine Johnson. He's in the scoreboard pocket. He check sides that. Tell you what, Craney, that's not a bad effort. That is a great goal from Blaine Johnson. Deep into the pocket, running to the boundary, screws it back straight over the goal umpire's head. He gets his second in a row, and that's all of a sudden the scoreboard's been flipped around. South Bunbury go to 5-2-32, leading HBL's 3-3-21 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard.
Are we going to give that a Western All Services Goal of the Day nomination?
I think that would be clearly leading at the moment.
But that's what South do. You can hold them for so long, and then all of a sudden you look at the scoreboard. That's what they didn't do last year. They could only kick 8 or 9 goals in a game. This year they can rattle them on very quickly.
Yeah, it was just the last 2 goals have come through skill error, fumble then, early missed kick. So South have pounced and made them pay. So back in the middle of the ground, we've got 11-point ball game. Not a bad crowd getting around, Craney. It's a nice day for footy. The skies are sort of
beautiful day, isn't
opening up a little bit.
Have a quick around the grounds thanks to Geograph Civil.
Busselton 16-6, 102 to Dunsborough 1-4 at three-quarter time. And Kerry Park 4-7-31, 11-2-68 Donnybrook at half-time.
So South go into attack. Siska handballs back to Ethan Nordell. He goes one way or the other, goes back onto the wing. He's got his player out there, and is it Bain? He's on the far wing. Drives that to half forward. Out comes a good lead from Johnson. He can't take the mark. Jetta's handball goes towards Tartagula. A horrible kick in towards centre half back now. Bourne's going to get the wheels to win the race back to the footy. Right on the siren. Probably lucky the siren went there because South had numbers running as we get quarter time. 32 South Bunbury, 21 HBL on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard.
Great first quarter of footy between South Bunbury and HBL. We'll be back after the break for quarter two. To Blaine, very good in that first quarter along with Riley.
Yeah, they got a lot of the ball and probably kept South, in the early part of the quarter when HBL were doing all the attacking. They probably give South that bit of a link up. They didn't get a lot of run from anywhere else. So, but then, as you said, just a couple of bad skill errors from HBL late in the quarter cost them 2 goals, and that's the difference in the game at the moment. So, yeah, it's a matter of whether they can stick at it long enough to stay in the game or whether they, get opened up.
Well, the thing about South, you need to play a full game of footy, don't you? If you drift off for 10 or 15 minutes, they're going to be all over you, which is something they weren't doing last year and something they've rectified this year. Yeah,
as I said, you just got to make them defend or make them try and attack from defence. If you let them go centre forward, then you've got no hope. If you can drive the ball in and get their back line on the hop and make them twist and turn and be playing in front of the defensive goal, it becomes a different game because they haven't had to do a lot of it this year. And as we've seen early in the quarter, HBL were quite dangerous or looking. They probably could have had another goal or two had they taken the opportunities. But she's a pretty good contest at the moment.
A good duel in the ruck, isn't it, by Big Fletcher and young Pedley. Pedley, to say undersized might be a bit of an understatement, but they're going head to head. Yeah,
it's just around the ground where Fletcher's he's taken his game to another level. For a ruckman, he's bending over, he was chasing the wingman out there, he's getting a lot of ground ball, which is, you don't see a lot of big guys do that. But
this is SEN spirit. Second quarter underway, and John Bajetta will take it away.
Fletcher wins knock, it goes down. Riley picks up on his left boot, he goes towards Bourne. He can't take the mark. Back first on there is Ned Golter. He handballs back a loose handball. Tane Williams, he's over the footy now. He's got nothing to kick to. Tell you what, you're going to be in trouble here, son. Very, very lucky there.
I thought he dragged it in for a little bit.
He certainly did, and he lay there and looked at the umpire, and that's the last thing that you want to be doing.
You don't want to catch eye contact with him.
Just inside the attacking 50 for South Bunbury. Fletcher, what's he going to do? Almost takes it out, hits it down towards Bennett. He kicks the ball towards Milner in the middle of the ground. Taken out there by Goiter. On the left foot he goes. He's got Riley on that high half-forward flank. He just chips over the top. He's got a running Waldrod, is it? The ball won't sit for him. Now it does. He bends over, low to the ground. Horrible kick in towards Blaine Johnson and his shoelaces. He's good enough to follow up. Waldrod, he's got a loose inside in Bourne. Just chips that from the outside of his boot. Hits Richie Bourne about 35-40 metres out on a 45-degree angle. He'll go back and you'd be thinking he'd be putting this through Craney.
Defender's nightmare, isn't it, when they're running everywhere like that and just a loose spot. You need to get back in the middle. Lockie Riley, they might have to tighten up on him a bit. I think he's going head-to-head with Anderson, but they might just have to swing a little bit of just to stop on him just for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do that. They don't sort of, they let it go. So Inborn comes. He'll kick from about 35 metres out. Good looking kick. It just fades to the right and she goes through for behind. They move to 5-3, leading 3-3-21 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. So Williams, what's he going to do? He's got Fletcher on the far side. He's got a loose here in the pocket in Bennett. He's going to go that far side. As the usual, runs down, plays on, gets yards, goes right down to that far wing. At the back over the top was a player there in Emmett. He couldn't take the mark. Picked up there from the South Bunbury player. Inside it goes Bain. He's wrapped up there by Billy Boucher. I was going to say Billy Barnes. No, he's been gone for a few years now. Yeah. And it's funny how a name rattles in your head. So it's half-forward flank for South Bunbury. Pedley, he hits it down, picked up there by Caboni on his left foot. He does a look-away handball, not the best. Piers Ferguson runs on it. He's under pressure. On the left foot, he goes down the line. Coming up there is Ward. He can't take the footy. South Bunbury through Horsman. He overruns it. Ward picks up a ball. He handballs to Will York. He's at centre forward. Drives across out the back there is Billy Boucher.
Beautifully
out
the
back.
It
was a great kick from Will York. Boucher takes a mark 40 metres out, almost directly in front. And that was a real good kick.
That was pinpoint, wasn't it? He had South defenders in front of him and behind him, and he had to be spot on, and he absolutely nailed that in. So he's warming up thanks to half-house. Get that half-house feeling.
It was well done there by young Ward. He lost front position, but he was strong enough to stay in the contest, and he got a good handball out, and York was good enough to hit Boucher, and can he finish off? Oh, that was a horrible kick. He just laid back, real lazy approach, and she's gone to the right for a behind.
Hit the top of his instep.
Yeah, you know, when you're playing top sides, you get these opportunities. You've got to make the most of them. I know it's not easy out there, but they've had a couple of good looks, and they've sprayed them, and that scoreboard could be a lot tighter if they'd taken opportunities. Goiter, he runs out to the scoreboard pocket. Just up and under she goes. Fletcher's in the best position. Oh, good effort there from Nordell at the back. Loose ball picked up there from Pierce Ferguson. Well done there by young player in Manuel. Is it? No, it's not. It's Martin. So what's he paid here? The umpire pointed the wrong way. He must have. I took my eye off it there, Craney. I was trying to get his name. But Bronson Martin's going to go back for his third goal of the afternoon. Directly in front, 35 metres out.
He did that well because that's a bit of a chaos ball and he had to sort of smother it.
It was a horrible ball, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then the South defender come over the top of him. So well played, young man. He
play in front, as they say.
Well, he committed to the contest.
Yeah, yep. So can he put his third through for the afternoon? Deliberate approach, directly in front. Any trots. Oh, again to the right. So they're wasting opportunities. You're not going to get a lot of them, so you got to take them, as we said.
And that was definitely gettable. Yeah. You're right there, Donnie. And they need to be very aware of South coming out of defence.
Because Waldrop's got a paddock on that far side. He's marked the ball on the crossover the 50-metre arc. Comes back inside, short down the line. He's got Cormac. Only gained about 15 metres. He's going to chip over the top. He does towards Bain. He takes an uncontested mark. Still in a defensive 50. What are they going to do here?
They've done it pretty well, HBL. They've blocked it up, stopped that run around the outer side.
Well, they've got the speed to be able to make the ground, and that's the difference. As I say, some sides don't have the leg speed to be able to, once guys start dropping off it, the hole's open pretty quick. But as you said, they're closing down quite well. So on that far side, Bodie Nordell, I think it is, on that far wing, what's he going to do? He just pops that onto the left foot down the line, in front there, or born from behind. He can't take it. Galter's played in front and done well to
even
get the ball.
Even then, they had to go to a 50-50 contest where they didn't have that run through the middle.
Yeah, they tried to work the ball at half back and create the loose, but they weren't able to do it. As you said, they were manned and forced. As a defender, you like it when the kicker is forced to kick up and under. It gives you half a chance to defend. So Fletcher and Pedley. Pedley this time. Bain can't take it. Fletcher goes and he picks up just a toe poke onto the boot. Waldrop punches forward. Who's picked up the loose ball? Bain just pushes off. He screws that back inside to the forward 50. Now one-on-one. Johnny Fenwick takes it. He's wrapped up by Siska. He just gets a half a kick down the line. Picked up there by Waldrop. He tries to get inside. Well done there by Siska. Picks up a loose ball. Handballs to Bain. On the right boot he goes. 45 metres out. She pushes across to the right-hand side. Through for a minor score. South go to 5-4-34. Leading HBL 3-5-23 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. Early stages, we've gone 5.5 minutes into the second quarter.
Interchange bench getting a bit of a workout thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture, Bunbury.
So HBL got loose in front of us. They can't go to the other side because they're going to be outnumbered. It's going to be a dangerous bit of play here. He's forced to go wide towards Zach Piper, taking a mark about 40 metres.
I think South will give him that pocket because it makes it hard to get out.
That would have been interesting if he come this side because they had the extra and they could have got the overlap. Now Piper's forced to kick up and under down the line. Fletcher, he's in front. Milner comes from the back. No one can take the mark. Well done there by Milner. He picks up a loose ball. He's got Anderson running. He goes over the top to Boucher. He goes out wide to Martin. He has one bounce. He can have another bounce. He does. He can have a third bounce if he wants to. He runs to 60 metres. Just chips inside. Well done there by Hamish Ward. Just inside the attacking 50. He's taken the mark in front of the scoreboard. They had good momentum then. Maybe a handball over the top.
Ward lost Horsman there for a little bit.
Yeah. He probably thought they were going to go long, so he doubled back, and the player there in Boucher was good enough just to pop that forward, a short kick, and so often you see the defender zoning back. So Hamish Ward, not a bad kick this. It's going to go right to the goal line. Milner goes up, well spoilt down there by 24 in South Bunbury in Galloway, and through for a behind. 5-4 plays 3-6 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. 10-point margin.
Conditions report thanks to Garage Stores Southwest. Absolutely beautiful.
It certainly is, Craney. Goiter comes into Waldrop. 45 from his defensive goal. He runs past for the handball. Is he going to give it to him? He is. So he cuts back in now on his left boot. Comes down his swing in front of us. South have got an out down there, but Tane Williams takes a good mark in front of Tyson Lane. right on the wing in front of us. He just chips into the centre of the ground. He's got young Saulis, is it? No, it's not. It's Ned Golter in the middle of hands oval. What's he going to do? He goes one way or the other. He's called to play on. He comes back here towards young Bennett, Luke Bennett on the wing. He goes one way. He's going to get around Chitty, is he? No, he's got a handball over the top into Saulis. He's going to give it back to Bennett. He's got good shepherd there from Bajetta. Play on now is Bennett. Good played. Good long kick into the teeth of the goal square. A good one-on-one duel over the back and a great mark. Was it paid? It was play on, but they have the numbers, and Bronson Martin's kicked his third goal from the goal line. I can't see who that was. It might have been young York that went over the top with the blue boots. The smallest man on the ground.
Tell you what, he almost got that.
Yeah, I think I was watching the umpire to see if he's going to pay it because he had enough of it. But luck's a fortune. They had the numbers on the ground. They go to 4-6-30. Trail South Bunbury 5-4-34 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. And we've got a good contest here, Croney.
Oh, just watching the replay there, thanks to the Hollow Beach Bar and Grill. And he all but took that.
He's coming off. I think he hit the ground pretty hard too because it was a good switch. And young Luke Bennett, he got a good shepherd in front of us and he made the most of it. He took players on. He run through the gap and drove the ball long. And as I said, quick and deep and put the defence under pressure. And luck's a fortune and they hit the scoreboard.
8 minutes into the second quarter, thanks to Lindmark Bearing Equipment and Geograph Industrial Supplies. Good to have that clock running up there on that scoreboard.
Yeah, we can see the lot. I got called out early. I looked at the bottom, the little time.
Oh, the 3:36.
Yeah, that's the actual time. It took me about 10 minutes to work that out. Anderson, really done through the middle of the ground. You're not going to catch him. He has one bounce. He runs to 50 metres. This needs to be a goal for effort alone, but to the right it hangs and it goes through for a minor score. That, as you said, Craney, that deserved a goal. That was blistering through the middle of the ground.
That would have definitely gone down for our Western All Pest Services goal of the day. He just took off out of the middle. He left everyone just standing.
Fletcher just said, "There's a nice hole there. Just get there, son." And he got there at pace, and there was no chance.
Which is where you want to be if you're roaming to Fletcher.
Yep. So Goyder, long and wide out there. Pedley does well. He takes a good mark on that far wing. It was a good kick from Goyder down the line. So he just goes over the top now, up and under towards Cormac. He marks in front of Big Fletcher. Cormac wheels and goes, just up and under the half forward, puts Bourne under a bit of pressure. Well done there by Golter, played in front. Now he wraps up the South player in lane. He throws it over the top. The umpire says, yes, dropping the ball. Illegal disposal. Now Ned Golter picks up the ball. He plays on in front of the mark. Oh, that kick just over the top of Caboni, but guess who's reverse on the ball? Biggest bloke on the ground in Jack Fletcher. Whacks it onto the ball towards half forward.
Good size rover.
Horsman takes possession. He's wrapped up by Ward. He can't get a clear handball. HBL have got good numbers around the footy there. And we've got a ball up on that far half forward wing area. And that was well done there by young Ward because Horsman was out. He had a loose over the top and he was good enough to wrap him up.
Young Golter's a fairly handy defender.
He's a
very
very good player. He is for a young guy. And again, he leads ball to the race to the footy. He leads Bourne. He picks up a loose ball. Hack that. What did the umpire call there? There's whistles going everywhere. And the young lass on the boundary said, give it here. I've got control of this. Well done. And right smack bang middle of the oval on that far side, we'll have a boundary throw in. 34 plays 31 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. We've been going 10 minutes in this second quarter and we've got a great contest here at Hands Oval.
An absolute bit. Thanks to the Bank of Queensland, Bunbury.
Fletcher takes the ball out of the air. He handballs towards Anderson. He just picks up a loose ball. He's like a rat up a drain pipe again. He goes one way or the other. Gets a handball over to Piper. Piper on his left. He's got a good run from Johnny Fenwick outside. Gets the centre half forward. Kicks low towards Billy Boucher.
Done. That is classic footy.
That's what you like to see. That's what good sides do.
Absolutely
move the ball
superb.
With precision and confidence, and it was a good lead from a young fella. He just wanted the footy, and the kick was honoured from the skipper, and he hit him lace out 35-40 metres out on a 45-degree angle. But as we've seen, they've missed a few, and they've just got to put these on the board if they want to stay.
That was a great way to open up the ground, isn't it?
Yeah, come out fat side. It was good pace again from Anderson. Piper didn't panic. And now Billy Boucher comes in, and that's a good-looking kick, Craney. That's straight. Has it got the journey? Oh, it's a good mark anyway. That's a great mark from when he turns around, and HBL.
I think it's a CPR or centre mark of the day contender.
That was young John Manuel. He's not the biggest guy in the pack there, but he stood tall, and he's marked at 3 metres out. And you put this down, they'll go to 5-7-36. They'll lead South Bunbury 5-4-34 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. And that was a reward for effort because it was a good play through the middle of the ground. Good skill work to be able to hit your targets, move the ball with precision and put the defence under all sorts. No, you can't defend that. When the ball's coming in like that, it doesn't matter how good a defender you are. If the kick's that good, it's a defender's nightmare.
Tell you what, we've got game on though. That was perfect use of the footy. And as you said, the more you do that, the more your confidence hides. And then all of a sudden, the more faith you've got in your teammates to win the footy, and you get even better.
it's a matter of pace, Croney. Like they say, speed kills, and that's what's happening in this game. I said to you last week, I watched them play. I know they only played, no disrespect, they played the bottom side, but it was the way they run, open up the ground and hit targets. I hadn't seen that from, for a few years, and I know they've got a couple out there that won't be there next week, but it's just bringing everyone into play, and they've got the mix right at the moment. So they're going to have to hang in there because this isn't, they're in the game, but South are a good side, so it's making them defend now, which is something they haven't had to do for a while. Bourne in the middle of the ground. He picks up a loose ball. He has one bounce. He's got an outside running Cormac. He's on the centre wing. He drills into centre half forward. Good lead come up there. That was Goiter. He's just, not Blake, Riley just drifted down. He's marked at centre half forward right on the paint. Probably beyond his range, although saying that, he kicked a good one from 50-odd. He just chips into the pocket now. Oh, too easy. Blaine Johnson. Oh, well done there by Tommy Heenan. Come over the top, knees, elbows and whatever. Picked up by Nordell. He handballs to Mitchell Bain. He's wrapped up. It's going to be dropped. That's a throw if I've ever seen one.
That's a rugby throw.
that was a good tackle from young Templeton there.
Kate Siska just come off for South off the Harvey Norman interchange bench and went straight down the room, so we hope he's all right.
Yep, so Bennett, he receives a handball. He goes long and wide down that far wing. Good mark taken out there by, I think it's Galloway. He now chips inside to Bourne. He misses that target. Bourne's first back on it. Well done there by HBL. They had a 2-on-1. Good pick up there from Manuel. He handballs to Billy Boucher. Just run down and he kicks, but it's going to roll. Latrell May leading the race to the ball, but it won't sit, and she rolls through for a behind. On the left-hand side of the goals, there's a good effort there. That he just got run down and he's about to kick.
Was Richie Bourne that run him down?
Yeah.
If he hadn't, outstanding.
That was a good effort. He just put that pressure on him. Otherwise,
which is good because he made the blue to start with, so he went and fixed that up.
So Riley, he takes the uncontested mark as a chip from full back. What's he going to do? They're under a bit of pressure here, Craney, so this is going to be interesting to see how they react.
Well, they've stopped the run.
They haven't been in this position too often this year, and for them, they'd be happy because the last game of the year, you don't want this to happen in the finals. If it's going to happen and you've got to work your way through it, you'd rather be doing it today than in a final. So Blake Piggott, he just goes back towards Riley. On his left foot, he's got a player down in Goiter on that far side. They go right across the other side of the oval. They've got runners out here through Bodie Nordell on the wing. What's he got inside? He's got a player in Galloway in the middle of the ground. He takes it. On the left foot, he goes to half forward. Chitty, good spoil there. Well done there by the half-back. I can't see who it was. Ferguson picked up now by Bain, is it? Onto the right boot, wobbles it towards the top of the goal square, but Matty Fenwick just stands his ground in front of Cade Waldrop, takes an uncontested mark. What's he got on the far side? He goes out towards Connor Caboni, not the best kick. It was Bennett. He can't take them. Caboni, sorry, it was. Chitty picks up the ball and runs it over out of bounds, and we'll have a boundary throw in about 50 metres around from the South Bunbury goal. 34 plays 38 HBL's way on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard as we tick over 15 minutes into the second quarter.
And we're looking at the tackle of the game from Bunbury Mower Service too. Johnny, keep an eye out for that one.
There hasn't been many tackle. There hasn't had to be because this ball has been zipping around in finals-like intensity. So Fletcher wins the ball, gives it to the player there in Tartaglia. He whacks on the boot. Well done there by Boucher. Good contest in the middle of the ground. HBL through. Well done there from Johnny Manuel. Picks up to Blake Soulis. He's got a runner outside. Well done there by young Templeton. He goes wide, just misses that target. That's a free kick. Play on to the opener. Yeah, had to be a free kick. Picked up out there by the goal kicker in Bronson Martin. He plays on. Back. Oh, did it? I just took me off the play there.
Yeah, man, Jared O'Brien, he's left us. He's gone to camera.
he's doing the camera duties.
He's a jack of all trades, isn't he?
Yeah, he certainly is. So Anderson, he goes over the top towards
Ferguson. It's a bit like
Ferguson.
the master and the apprentice sitting next to us.
Dean's having a Sunday off. So right on that far side, Pierce Ferguson in front of the scoreboard, which reads 34-38 HBL's way. He just chips that down the line. Not the best kick, but that ball's missed everyone. South Bunbury had a number of players around it. Crawford can't pick it up. Now they're under pressure. Anderson picks it up. He leaves it for Ferguson. He comes in low. Onto the left boot. Top of the goal square. Who's going to win this? We've got Milner 2-on-1. A good spoil there over the top from Galloway again. Through for a behind she rolls. 5-9-39 lead. 5-4-34 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. We've been playing 16.5 minutes.
They've had a couple of opportunities, haven't they? 5 goals and 9.
They could be 3 or 4 goals up.
Well, they've got more scoring shots than South at the moment.
When they've actually had more, you look at inside 50s, they've dominated this quarter. So Goiter comes down the middle of the ground. We've got Chitty and Bajetta. Chitty just plays in front. He's too strong. He takes an uncontested mark in the middle of the ground. Now he's got Waldrop loose. He's got Fenwick there riding with him. Waldrop almost takes a good mark. Fenwick works his way to the front. Now he's got his brother in support and the captain, Johnny Fenwick. HBL need to bottle this up because South have got numbers loose on the outside of this contest. And Waldrop's been rewarded. He's hunted the footy. Oh, that's not the best call advantage. That was a terrible decision by the umpire. Anyway, Blaine Johnson's picked picked up the loose ball. He screwed back. The crowd thought it was through. We thought it was through, and she's hit the post.
So did everyone, Blaine Johnson included.
We were all behind it, and then she just kept curling.
The crowd behind us all went up in there, but it's not to be.
So Tane
one
Williams,
of the most loved points you'd see, I think.
Yeah. Well, every kick he's had has been around the corner. Dangerous kick, and Matty Fenwick's taken a mark 30 metres out from his defensive goal. Blaine Johnson made him earn the mark. He gets up a bit ginger. He handballs now to Tane Williams. He drops, and you can't do that, son. Now he's wrapped up. His jumper's ripped off.
That's a way to get out of a tackle.
It's actually a comedy of errors, and now that's
a way to get out of a tackle, though. Just lose your jumper.
What you say? You slip the tackle. So that ball in the end, Harvey Brothers were under all sorts, and probably lucky for them, they missed everything and it's rolled out of bounds so they can reset. South was sweating all over it. They had numbers all around it. Had it stayed in, I dare say they'd be back scoring some sort of score. Boundary throwing, Fletcher in front. He pats that down towards Will York. He runs onto the loose ball. He's got Bain's got a hold of him. Play on's a call. Good tackle from York. He slams Bain into the turf, and the umpire says, give it out. And it's gone out of bounds.
That was a good contest, wasn't it?
Well, York had it 1 minute. Bain picked his pocket, and then York was good enough to stay in it and applied the tackle. And what have we got here? Boundary throwing about 35 metres around from the South Bunbury goal in front of us. Bit of push and shove out there. So Fletcher in front. What's he do? He hits to the boundary. The umpire's called
kick
over the
Fletcher.
top. Yep. No good throwing yards out. You've got to get in front, and if you're not in front and the big guy, he's too big a target for the umpire not to see.
Plus another thing, you don't question the umpire. He's already made his thing, because as soon as you question the umpire, you've lost track of what's going on around the footy.
I almost yelled a kick long down the line, and I forgot I was on air, Craney. I've become a supporter. Not that, as I said, we don't. We're not biased. Trust me, we are not. People think we are. You have a son in one camp, I have one in the other. But all we want to see is 40-odd guys go for it and come off, shake hands, and not be injured.
Actually, Sean's.
He's running water. Was he coaching out there?
But I've never seen him out in the field yet, so the players would be pretty thirsty, I should imagine.
It's 39 plays 35. Boundary thrown in front of the South Bunbury dugout. Play on's a call. Now York, he runs on. Well gathered on the left fan. He runs on his right foot, kicks inside out, goes to, good effort there, but John Manuel, he handballs inside to, well done there by the South defender in Goiter, is it? Latrell May just picks his pocket. He's got York outside, 20-metre handball. He's got time, he's got space. He runs inside 50, sews it up the goal, and she just to the left-hand post. She feigns again, and they could just about not say put this game away. They could make this all sorts of pressure for South Bunbury, but they're leaving him, they're hanging it out there and leaving him in the game as we speak.
It's the first time South Bunbury have been under pressure because the ball's going in that so quick into that defensive unit.
It certainly is. Crawford on the far side. What the umpire said, come back, or he's just kicked back to Goiter. The umpire called it back. So Tom Goiter in the back pocket. 35 plays 40. HBL in front on the southwest side Isuzu scoreboard. Tom Goiter goes long down that far side. Good kick. He finds Ethan Nordell.
Who's been busy?
Yeah, he's got a bit of the ball. He squares up, goes inside towards Galloway. He marks on his defensive 50. He's got a runner inside in Jace Cormack. Now he's going to run through the centre square. He handballs. He's got outside to Nordell. He runs through the middle of the ground. Just a horrible up and under. Bourne leads. The intention was to Bourne, but York grabbed the 40 son. Don't double hand it. Lux of fortune. Tane Williams grabs it. He's got Connor Caboni on that far wing. Bit of push and shove out there, which is good to see. No quarter given. Pierce Ferguson breaks out that far side. Caboni goes, Cormack's going to get in front, is he? Well done there by Jace Cormack. He runs onto a loose ball now. He made his own luck there. Handballs inside to a run of Crawford. He there one way or the other. Loose handball over the top. South Bunbury now start running. Richie Bourne has one bounce. He's going to have another. He calls Johnson, come at me. It's Waldrot. He goes long. Good kick out there. Well done there by Matty Fenwick it was. Good spoil over the top of Cade Waldrot. The ball rolls out of bounds in the
HBL pushed him to the pocket then,
They
Johnny,
did, yeah.
Instead of Southlight leading up to that front.
He actually could have kept running, Craney, because behind Waldrop was nothing, and chanced his arm on having a long shot at goal.
A ping over the top.
Yeah. With a guy of his class, probably, but that's what pressure does.
100%.
Any other day he would have done that and probably slotted it. So deep into attack as South Bunbury. Good wrap. On in the ruck, give Fletcher a bit of a blow just for half time. 21.5 minutes played in the second quarter.
Did Fletcher come off with a Harvey Norman interchange?
It'd be the first time that he has, if he did. Yeah. That's a high tackle there on the South Bunbury player in Bain, is it? Yep, he's going to be rewarded with a free kick about 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle. So they'll be looking to go back and slot this. There's not much in it on the scoreboard, but in general play, Harvey Brunswick have had the best of this quarter so far.
Well, 5 more scoring shots than the South Bunbury side at the moment.
Yep, and some easy ones at that. Nothing's easy, but in the context of,
So Cade Siska's coming back on from the Harvey Norman interchange bench. Must be all fixed up. Went down with trainer Ralphie O'Byrne.
So Mitchell Bain comes in, a deliberate approach on goal. He's going to kick from about 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle. He skips, he hops, he goes one way out to the right. He hangs it, and she's stayed right. It has. So 36 plays 40. So maybe that bug of missing the goal is catching everyone. HBL again need to come this side. They've got all the numbers. He's got him loose in the middle of the ground. What's he going to do, Tane Williams? He's going to go to that dead pocket again. He goes one way or the other. Probably put himself under pressure in the end. Milner's out there. He's going to, well done there by Xavier Milner. Takes the mark over the top of Crawford. What's he going to do? On that trusty left-footed half-back, he's now called to play on. He can kick this ball 60 metres, and he does. He goes long down that scoreboard flank, but Galloway's in the best position, take an uncontested mark. He put himself under all sorts of pressure there, Xavier. He's one way and the other. He just got to be direct. So young Baskerville, he kicks into the middle of the ground to Ethan Nordell. He handballs over the top towards Riley. He's run through the middle of the ground. Good kick. He's got Mitchell Bain still in the centre square. He doubles up, goes back to Riley. He's got a runner there in Chitty, I think it was, Cormac. He goes long, out wide there toward Hutchison. He takes a sliding mark deep into the forward pocket. Does Craig Hutchison, one of his rare league games this year. He just chips the ball back to Blake Riley. That was loose checking from HBL, and he's going to have a shot from about 48 metres out.
Of course, Craig Hutchison, assistant coach of the South Bunbury side this year, so he pops it across to Bain.
Yeah, that was very loose checking. Everyone thought he was just going to go back and have a shot. They haven't gained any yards, but they've gained a better direction. So can Mitchell Bain make amends for his last kick? He's going to kick from about 48 metres out, almost, or I'd say directly in front.
Good sign the South. They're not selfish in any way, shape or form.
That's what good sides do. You see and you honour. You don't twist and turn and put yourself under more pressure, and that's what makes good sides, because the ball just moves to the options that are available quickly. Again, he comes out to the right trying to get the extra yard. That's floated, it's floated, and it's floated to the right again.
It is a bit catching this behind.
That ball hasn't spun very well on them. It's spinning in general, kicking, but every time someone's had a shot, doesn't matter. So Ferguson, he goes low to Caboni. He's got the half volley, but he's got Ferguson running for him. Now he's going to have to get on the boot under all sorts of pressure. Nordell handballs back there towards Bain. He's got a bit of the footy. Chips inside to Bourne. He's marked the footy right on the 50-metre paint. He's going to be looking for something, because I don't think he'll get the journey here, Croney. He pops that inside towards Blaine Johnson, just too big and strong there for Ned Golter. He just pushes him off with one hand, takes an uncontested mark in the end, and what can he do from 35 metres out? Again on a slide angle, but this should be bread and butter for him.
He works very, very hard, does Blaine Johnson.
He's a good player. He's a quality player. He doesn't just provide...
prepared to do the 1, 2, 3 efforts.
Yeah, I was about to say, he doesn't just provide one lead. He goes 2, 3. He cuts his angles. He chops and changes and puts the defence under all sorts of pressure.
Can you put this one in the bank thanks to the Bank of Queensland?
I think so. If the right man's got it, if he misses, we're in trouble. In he comes from 35 metres out. That's not a bad-looking kick. She's gone up. She's gone straight over the goal umpire's head. And South Bunbury wrestle back the lead. They go to 6-7, 43. They lead HBL, I think it's 5-10, 40 as a blank scoreboard goes blank. So they get their nose back in front. 3 points on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. As we played 25 minutes in the second term, we're ticking down towards half-time.
Yeah, thanks to Lindmark Bearing Equipment. That time clock up there is pretty handy to have, actually. Saves us looking at Dean Lomax's monitor all the time. We know exactly what's happening. How's he going, Jared O'Brien, on the camera there, Dean?
Looks like he's trying to fly a plane.
He's coming along. He's actually not doing too bad. I'm actually quite impressed. He's actually following the ball very nicely.
Don't build him up too much.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, he's not doing all that well. He has missed some key moments, but it's okay. He'll get there. It's good having work experience children on the show.
Horsman and Ward in the ruck. Both number one ruckmans having a rest. Horsman over the top. He goes towards Bain. Bain's wrapped up in there by Anderson. I don't like resting ruckman a couple of minutes to go before a break. It just gives takes the pressure off your opposition when you're dominating in the middle. So again, Horsman, he goes down towards Bain. That was a real good tackle. Picked up by Anderson. He has one bounce. He's going to bounce all the way to goal here, Croney. Siska's probably the right guy to be chasing, but he's got no hope. He bounces all the way to 50. Right on the siren he goes. Over the top of the goal umpire's head. As you can hear the siren in the background. HBL have wrestled back the lead right at half-time. That was a real good running goal from Ty Anderson. He had one bounce, he had two bounces. He took off and left Siska in his dust, and he hits the scoreboard. 46 plays 43 at half-time, and there it is on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard.
We also, right on half-time, we've seen a Western All-Pass Services Goal of the Day nomination. Yep. That was an outstanding. Gee, you'd hate to be chasing him, wouldn't you? We'll be back after the break with the Hollow Beach Bar and Grill half-time chat. In the clash between HBL and South Bunbury, a very entertaining first half of footy, very open game, very little tackling going on because the ball is absolutely whizzing. School level is right up there. South Bunbury, they trailed the HBL side 43-46. Johnny, pretty entertaining.
It's a very good game of footy, Craney. As I said, it's a dead rubber, and we were talking while you were having a lunch and beverage and whatever. And we said, what a side's going to get out of it. You just want to go through, fine-tune, get no injury sort of thing. But we didn't expect probably the intensity of the game. It's a ripping game. They're going. There's no quarter given here. Both sides they're playing. South, they don't want to lose, and HBL, well, they got nothing to lose. The youth, the exuberance of the youth is got them into the position that they're in at the moment. I said a couple of them kids, they can't play in the next couple of weeks, but at the end of the day, they're breathing life into the team, and the other boys have come along for the ride. And as we see the scoreboard, they could be 4 or 5 goals in front had they taken all their opportunities.
This is a Hollow Beach Bar and Grill half-time chat. Just run through the goal kickers for South. Blaine Johnson has 3. 1 to Waldrott, 1 to Bourne, and 1 to Riley. And for HBL, young Bronson Martin, we don't know a lot about him, John, but he's kicked 3.
Yep.
Manuel's kicked 1, Anderson kicked 1, and May kicked 1. That last goal of Anderson's, right on the siren, he burst out of defence and kicked the goal. Gee, that's got to lift any team. Yeah,
he almost had the opportunity to do it early in the quarter, but he got it right that last time, and having coached him, I used to always encourage him to run. And once you get out of the middle of the ground or get first hands on the ball and you've got that yard of space, there's not a guy in this comp there's not many guys at all that would catch him. He's that burst player, and at the end, young Siska, he's probably one of South's quickest, and he had no hope of getting near him. And when you got that pace, you got to use it, and you just got to roll, pin the ears back and go for home. That's no good coming out of the middle of the ground and try and hit up a 20-metre pass. Come out and go for glory. All right, sometimes you're going to miss. Every now and again you'll get, and you'll look $1 million. But when it's on, like you said, they'll go in now. That was right on the siren. They go in with their tails up.
What I liked about it too is sometimes he'll come out wide and then do a backflip. He worked it out with Fletcher where it was a nice arc.
Yep.
He's seen that South Bunbury were leaving a bit of a hole through that defensive unit, and that's where he went through.
And that's the thing, like you talked about the setup in the middle of the ground. We said before the game, with the ruckman, obviously Fletcher's the dominant ruckman in the competition, and HBL with Caboni and Anderson, they're very fleet-footed. And with Fletcher hitting it where, when he wins them knocks and hits it to space, well, South are used to running one way, and when you're on the back foot sometimes, you don't want to, you don't like to, you think, oh no, we'll get the next one, and all of a sudden, the other side's rolling it out of the middle of the ground, and the pressure's on, and you're not adapting.
This is the Hollow Beach Bar and Grill half-time chat. We'll be back shortly with the second. And welcome back to Hands Oval. Umpires are back out on the ground. This is the Hollow Beach Bar and Grill half-time chat. It sees HBL 6 goals 10-46. They lead South Bunbury 6 goals 7-43 in what has been a very fast-paced game of footy. Let's have a look around the grounds thanks to Geograph Civil and Bustleton. Big winners to finish off the season, John. 20 goals 11, defeated Dunsborough 3 goals 7.
Yeah, it's probably for them a disappointing season. They'd probably say a season wasted, but they lost a few players early in the year and all that, but at the end of the day, they were chasing from the word go, and they fell short. There's no other way to put it.
No, that's right. They have a lot to build on going into next season, though, with the Bustleton Football Club, I should imagine.
Yeah, they've always got the numbers. It'd be the first year. I don't think any of their grades have. I stand to be corrected. I didn't check the ladder in the other grades before we come on air, but I got a funny feeling it could be the first year that they aren't participating in finals in any grade, which would be. Oh, in my time, I couldn't think of
then we got
that
the
ever
Colts
happening. Yeah, the Colts and reserves have been, backbone of the competition of playing finals footy. it's almost like life, deaths and taxes. It's Busselton are going to play finals in one of their grades. And like I said, I stand to be corrected. They could may have the Colts in there, I'm not sure. But, and they're a club with big numbers. And I said they forfeited the other day, which is, a no-no. And they'll develop again. They've just got to reset and come again.
And in the other game, which is very, very important in respect to the ladder, Donnybrook, well, they're doing a bit of a number on Kerry Park, 15 goals to 8-8. So Donnybrook will host a home final wherever that may be.
Yeah, well, they played in bits and pieces last week. They took it up to Bunbury and then they fell away and then they come again and fell a bit short. They're definitely going to be about the place, but obviously today they fine-tuned pretty well. I'm not sure, I didn't look at the list to see who was in and out, but obviously 15-2 is a pretty good score, pretty good taking most of opportunities, so that's a good polish up for them leading into the finals.
As the Tigers enter the arena just in front of us and HBL back on the ground, and it won't be long before those temporary change rooms become null and void because the new change rooms, John, are not too far away.
Yeah, it's looking good, Croney. All that to our left here. It's a few weeks' time. They'll be stripping off down there, and we'll be sitting up top on the perching up there.
Be a comfortable little spot to sit. Well, this one here, look, I'm just thinking about Donnybrook before we do go back to this game here. They let that third quarter against Bunbury go where they were too loose and too slack. Slack is the word, I suppose. That's not the word. They weren't aware of where Bunbury were running to just for that one quarter.
It was 5 or 6 minutes at the start of the third quarter. They didn't come out. They were still sitting in the rooms because they didn't touch the footy, and Bunbury just waltzed out and almost had every possession in that 5 or 6 minutes and hit the scoreboard back to the middle, do it again. And it took them 4 or 5 times before Donnybrook actually woke up, and at the end of the game there was only a couple of goals in it. And they had a chance to get back within a kick late in the game, but they played some good footy. Again, a couple of these kids coming back from Perth, whether they qualified or not will make a difference. So it was interesting, and I say to see that score there today against Kerry Park, it's a pretty good effort.
Just in front of us, walking out the rooms, of course, Jay Crosman. Very sad to see one of the best backmen in the league, without a doubt. Has got a bit of a serious knee injury, so all the best to him. I had a word with him. He's in good spirits, but he's got a bit of work to do on recovery. Yeah,
you don't like to see that happen to anyone. There's a young guy in the Colts this morning at the end, just before the end of the game, that unfortunately suffered a very horrific injury. The ambulance had to come out and take him off. Apparently dislocated knee and a broken leg or something like that. So it wasn't good, and yet, as I said, we don't want to see anyone get injured. We're all going to get a bruise or a lump and bump and whatever and hobble to work on Monday, but if that's all we get, and we're grateful, we don't want to see guys have to go to hospital and miss work or have time away from sport that they love. It's just it's a game at the end of the day, and we just want to play it in good spirits, and someone wins, someone loses. It's not the end of the world.
100%. I don't think South Bunbury coach Julian Burgess would be, I reckon he'd be loving this, because HBL are really throwing down the challenge in a different way. Kerry Park threw the challenge down in the first half last week, but in a different way. HBL have actually decided to go the outside and run in waves. So it's a different sort of challenge, but it looks pretty good. Yeah,
well, I mean, South are a skillful side and have been able to run and carry and link up pretty well. So you fight and fire with fire. You're not trying to knock them off there, play a physical game. You say, right, you can run and stun, and so can we. So let's see who can hit our targets and make the most of the ball going forward. And if you're not going to come with us, we'll keep going. Or if we've got it, then how well are you going to defend? And at the moment, I said, if HBL had hit the scoreboard, they had the opportunity, they had good looks, they could be 4 or 5 goals in front. And now we'll see if they got the goal to hang in there for this second half and stay in the game. They've got the nose in front, so we'll see what it brings.
Blaine, Riley and Walrot in there for South as the umpire holds the ball aloft. We're ready to start the third quarter of this clash. This is SEN Spirit, and this is John Bajetta.
Fletcher, he goes in the ball. Bain goes in. He just hacked off the ground. He goes forward. on that high half-forward flank. Oh, just a throw back between the
nice
legs. Did he pay it? Yeah.
Yeah. Don't think you can get away with that one.
No, that was a scoop out of the bottom of the barrel. So Johnny Fenwick, he goes down that far wing. Milner comes up. Good kick, good lead. He's going to wheel onto that left foot. No, he doesn't. He handballs wide. He should have went long on his left foot. He's a better kick of the footy. Tartaglia, now he props and goes back. They're going to stuff this. Shouldn't say that. They're going to muck this up. Fenwick goes back over to Tartaglia. He's not sure where to go. He just pops that inside towards Boucher. Oh, it's carried. No, it's got the South Bunbury player in Cormac just got a fingernail to it. Timely little touch, and the umpire said, give it here. I'll throw it up.
HBL pulled up the run there. They had that open side.
Milner should have wheeled and gone on that left foot. He's got a good kick. Fletcher just whacks out wide. Now who's going to win the foot race? Won't sit up there for Saulis. He applies a real good tackle on Cormac, I think. His play-on's a call. Good tackling pressure there from HBL to keep that ball locked up on the edge of their 50-metre arc as they push forward.
HBL are going to fight this out, aren't they?
Yeah, we just said, they're going to have to. They have to stay every moment of the game if they want to stay in it and give themselves a chance. Chitty picks up a loose ball. Onto the right foot it goes. Tane Williams comes through. Xavier Williams, I've been told. I've been calling him Tane all afternoon. So Xavier Williams' kick goes to half forward. Picked up there by Blake Pickett. He wheels. He comes out. He handballs over the top there to Mitchell Bain. He's run into. He gets around Anderson. He gets a kick down the line. Kicks that as a foot race now. Bourne and Golter. Bourne's got the wheels. Good pick up. Golter pushes him wide. Bourne's forced to kick on the run. Blaine Johnson misses what he normally takes. Good defensive work there from Johnny Fenwick. Johnson picks up the ball, snaps, and he to the right-hand side he misses. That was a real good effort there from Blaine Johnson to get back cat-like onto his feet, pick up a loose ball, tight in the pocket, scoreboard pocket, but unable to finish the job. But a
nice
real
bit
good
of work
effort
for Richie Bourne there too, wasn't it? That was a bullet pass.
Yeah.
Not often they burst through Johnson's hands. He normally got a very solid set of hands, but that was coming very, very fast.
So Golter, what's he going to do? He goes long on that far side out to the Fletcher direction. He's got front position. It goes over the top. Now's a foot race on. Who's going to win the race back? Nordell. He's met there by Saulis. Handball comes towards Carboni. He just goes onto his right foot. The ball sits for Latrell May. He handballs over the top. Give the handball to Milner on his left boot. He runs to 60. He's got a player at centre forward. Looks inside. Great vision. The ball doesn't carry. Boucher picks up a loose ball. He gets around one. He gets around another. He's got Martin coming up at him. He just sits it in front of the hole. Oh, the young bloke drops what he should have taken. He's good enough to delay the tackle now. Pressure's on the South Bunbury defence. Jumping on the footy. The umpire said give it here. 45 metres out from the HBL goal. A real good effort there from the South Bunbury player to hold that up in Jack Wright because he was under all sorts. Young Martin should have swallowed that Croney. That was a good kick. It was a good lead. He just lowered his eyes at point of contact to the ball.
His mind changed at the wrong time there, Johnny.
It did. So Bain is
thanks to the Bank of Queensland too. This game is really heating up.
It's pretty willing there. It is. Even then, that ball hit the deck and players are jumping from everywhere. No one wants to give a quarter here. It's an opportunity for HBL. They're 40 metres out from their goal. Ward works his way hits that ball forward. Martin's taken high. Play-on's the call, and we got a ball up again in that same spot. 40 metres out, directly in front.
Not only that, the final's just around the corner, so you want to put your name up in lights.
Exactly, if you want to be playing.
A spot in it.
Yep, Horsman just whacks that over the top. Pickett takes the ball. He's well wrapped up by Will York, and the umpire's right on it. Good decision. Just give it here. Quick whistle, which is what we want to see.
He only knows one way, doesn't he, Blake Pickett?
He's done that well today.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's met the ball on a number of occasions at full pace. And as they say, you run it hard, you won't get hurt. Fletcher, just too big and strong. He whacks that forward. No one can pick up the ball, but Fletch goes in. Takes two to tango to get him to the ground. But he said, I don't mind that. He wraps it up, keeps the ball locked into the 50-metre arc for HBL. And I'd say a big cheerio to our good friend in Jesse Crichton, Croney. He's up at the top of Australia somewhere. He's just messaged me. He's listening in.
Oh, good day, Jess. Hope you're enjoying the travels.
Yeah, he certainly is, I can tell you. I spoke to him the other day. So Fletcher, there's a free kick here to South Bunbury off the ball. It's going to go to, number 3 in Cole Sawyer. He squares that to Blake Riley. He runs into the middle of the ground now. He barrels that torpedo, left foot torpedo towards Blaine Johnson. Well done by Tom Heaton, but Johnson keeps his feet. He pushes his way through. Well done there, just pure strength. Handballs wide to his teammate Nziska. He just up and under. Well done there by Golter. The loose ball comes down to Anderson. He takes around one. He says, catch me if you can. Kicks that ball to the far wing. He's got young Hamish Ward. He's 3-on-1. He needs to try and lock that ball up. Cormac just squeezes that forward to Riley. He sweeps that handball out to, I think it's Chitty. He just whacks it on Horsman, up and under, down the line. Who's in the best position? Tom Heenan. He marks in front of the scoreboard. He hits the ground running. Gives a 20-metre handball to his captain. He handballs inside to Boucher. He goes back out wide towards Saulis, I think it is. He's kick smothered. Tries to kick off the back foot. Riley runs onto a loose ball on that far wing. He's tackled. There's a real good pressure out there. Johnny Fenwick meets the ball. He double hands it. Player there in York. He goes to Boucher. He can't take the footy. Harvey Brunswick have numbers. now squeeze the handball
Finals
to
come
touch.
early, I
It
think,
certainly
Johnny.
is. This is a great game of footy to be watching, Craney. A good kick towards young Latrell May. His handball goes over top to Tarko. You can't go one way and the other, son. If you want the footy, you go straight.
Especially when the heat's on like this.
They were out there. The handball was young guys. They're going to make mistakes, but kick the ball. It was in a cluttered area. Get it out of there. So Goiter in the middle of the ground. He chips to Waldrot. He takes the mark. He wheels and goes onto his left foot. Just chips that ball inside to Cormac. He runs through centre half forward. Blaine Johnson comes straight out. That's a beautiful kick. That was a training drill straight up the middle of the ground. He marks the ball in front of his eyes. 35, 40 metres are out directly in front. Now he's going to go back and make them pay for some indecision. And we've seen the lead down this end from the young HBL guy who dropped the mark. But Blaine Johnson, he was having none of that. That's exactly what you see at training.
We spoke about using the pockets. That was directly where they need to be. He's straight down the middle, and if you lead to Jace Cormac's boots, fair chance you're going to get it.
So in he comes directly in front, drops it, and to the left. He stayed left, and it's catching that point system, Craney. 6:9:45, trail 6:10:46. 6 minutes gone on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard in the third quarter.
Of course, Jesse Crichton got a foot in both these camps.
Yeah.
Johnny played at HBL and South Bunbury.
Yeah, he spent a few years at each. Very good lad is probably the best way to put it, one of the boys. So Williams plays on from full-back. Now he's forced to go long and high down that wing. Who's going to be set for Fletcher's in front? Good spoil from South Bunbury. It goes out of bounds. There was a good spoil down there by the player in Galloway, I think it was. He had Fletcher a bit bigger than him, but he was able to work his way from the side and effect a good spoil. So boundaries throw in.
1
6,
point
7
ball
minutes.
game. Who would have picked this? This is brilliant. Thanks to City and Regional Fuels.
So a bit of a stagnant in the play. Up they go. Fletcher just bashes that. No one can take a clean takeaway. In they go. Numbers around the contest. And the umpire says, give it here. I'll have it. We're 70 metres out from the South Bunbury goal.
Looking for a rising star thanks to Hemp Brothers. There's a few of them running around here, John.
There's both sides. Good knock there from Pedley. He goes down to Waldrop. He just whacks it onto the right boot. Golder picks it up. He goes one way or the other. He's putting himself under a bit of pressure now. He's got to go right across his defensive goal. And this is going to go straight down the throat of Cole Sawyer, is it? When he gets up, I think it is. He just slid that. I think young Golder knew the moment he put boot to ball that he was in all sorts of trouble. And now Cole Sawyer is going to have a shot from about 45, 50 metres, 43, 44 metres out from goal. Almost directly in front. It was good pressure down there from the chase that made Golder have to get foot to ball, and it caused a turnover here. So Cole Sawyer, he's coming in a direct approach on goal. Runs straight. Will this go straight? Veers to the right, and Craney, where'd that ball go?
Goes exactly the line up he was kicking that.
Run straight, kick straight.
I was just saying, Caboni on lane has done an outstanding job.
He certainly has.
Down there's a great match-up, thanks to Southern Lachlan Security.
So the kick comes in short to Xavier Williams. I'll get that right, boys. Twins that they are. Well, Bronson.
Now you're in strife.
I can see they're trying to get well done. He's young Bennett's on the ground. He's not looking too good. But now Piper comes up. He's got the long kick to half forward. Out the back is Ward. He's in the best position to mark. Good, well done there. Good work there from Manuel. They got a 2-on-1 here. Can they keep that ball alive? He needs to knock it out. Now he needs to keep it in. He stands his ground. He's going to get penalised. Oh, very lucky there. Probably lucky in two fronts. He just needed to get that out earlier where they had the 2-on-1, but he was lucky when he stood. He wasn't penalised for dropping the ball. Right on the 50-metre arc for HBL. Horsman goes up. He brings the ball down to his teammate in Bain, who's wrapped up by Caboni, and again we'll have a ball up in the same slot. So luck's a fortune there for HBL in many ways there, but then again they could have been hitting the scoreboard. Up they go, Fletcher this time and Pedley. Fletcher just round arm. Who can take it? Gorder. He just slaps it on the boot. Good pressure. Comes off the shin of Bourne. Now Golder's going to win the race. He's taken high, and the umpires, yep. So Ned Golder right on the wing in front of us. What's he going to do? He gives a handball to Anderson.
Up, Johnny.
Yep, yeah, young
not looking too
Luke
flat,
Bennett.
so I think he might have got a whack in the ribs.
So they've got numbers here. Johnny Fenwick, he plays on. He goes, not the best kick, Johnny. Latrell May interferes there, to Goiter. Unlucky to Tommy Goiter not getting a free kick then. Picked up there by Billy Boucher. Just a big, Will York, just a big up and under. South Bunbury have the numbers. Drop what they should have taken. Now the pressure's on. The player there in Sawyer, he's paddling towards a boundary. I'll tell you what. Very lucky. He probably could have got a kick for a little tug on the jumper.
I think his jumper come away. But
yeah, it was there. But, you keep looking for them. You're going to be playing netball all day.
Yeah, that's right.
1 point
I
ball
don't
game.
mind that.
10 minutes into the third quarter. She's 40 metres out from the HBL goal. Fletcher, he just whacks that down. Who's going to run on the loose ball? Milner tries to work his way to the front, and he does. Good,
well
almost
done.
a good tackle by Jace Cormack. But Xavier Milner goes, I'm equal to the task. He wheels around straight through the middle of the goal. HBL will go to 7-10, whatever that is. They lead by 7 points on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard.
Yeah, they're making a game of this HBL.
You could see him running from the back of the pack there when Fletcher was in mid-air. I don't know if we can't hear, but we can only see. And he was the guy on the move. Lux of fortune. Fletcher won the knock, and he just made all-post the winner. He ran onto the ball.
It's hard to get him on the fly like that there, and he
but
did
you've got to be
exactly
moving because then your opponent can't stop you.
And he had a sense of awareness there. He had a pretty bit of pressure around him. He just stopped around and went around the corner. Do we put that one down as
that was
a Western
a
Northwest
contender,
Services?
I know you like looking for him, but
absolutely.
He's a kid with a lot of class.
If I don't write him down here, John, I don't.
So we got a 6 point ball game, 46 trail 52 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. 11 minutes into the third quarter. If you're not doing nothing, you're sitting at home, get in your car and come down to Hands Oval. This is a good game of football.
Good crowd too.
Middle of the ground again. Fletcher just takes it out of the area. This time his kick smothered, picked up there by ragdolled by the. Well, what did he call? Yeah, fair enough. Young Templeton couldn't get his handball away. So Bain, he just drives forward to that scoreboard pocket. Nordell comes out in front. He can't take the mark. Over the back there is Blaine Johnson. He drops what he normally runs onto. Well done there by young Golder. Now he's forced to feed the ball out wide. It's numbers all around it. This is going to be a ball up, one would think. Yep. The umpire's there looking.
That defensive unit at HBL too, to keep South Bunbury down to 6 goals is something they've been very good at, getting a big scores on the board. So they have been outstanding down there.
Well, it's all comes to pressure, Croney, and also in the middle of the ground.
100%.
South have had to go back. Well, been forced back to go forward. Now
and it's
Anderson.
like this.
Yeah, there you go. He has a bounce. He becomes an 80-metre player. Over the back is Milner. He's the man of the moment at the moment. Takes a good mark. Go back and kick yourself, son. He's a great kick of the footy. He does. He just pushes that into half forward. Ward's too slow to the ball. Now South have got the numbers. Bain picks up a ball. He handballs back to Goyder. He handballs wide to Crawford. He just chips inside the centre square to Galloway. Now he's got a runner out here. Too slow to kick it towards Sawyer. Now he's forced to go. HBL have closed down the space. Good kick. Lane's finally got himself into the game. He's marked in the middle of the ground. Almost could have conned the umpire for a 50-metre penalty. Now he's called to play on one way or the other. He's not sure what he's doing. Now he runs through the middle of the ground. He just puts that up and under in the Blaine Johnson direction. It's carried his head. Good effort from Johnson. Tries to bring it forward. Now he works onto the loose ball. Well done there by Tommy Heenan. He now pushes the ball forward to Tane Williams. He handballs back to Heenan. Slaps that ball onto the boot. Milner plays in front on the centre wing. He wheels and goes onto his left boot. He's got a runner out there in Piper. He's got a paddock out there.
They're working
he
well.
can go bouncing. He can bounce once more if he wants to. Good chase there from the South Bunbury player. It was a real good chase from...
that was outstanding.
Yeah, it was a great chase. Just trying to see who it was. Young Nordell. It is Bodie Nordell. That was a great chase. Piper's awareness wasn't there at all.
For the Bunbury Mower Service tackle of the day. Put it down to
in the middle of the
Nordell.
ground, Tommy Goyder, he wheels to this far wing now. He's got Cormac. What's this ball going to do? Golter does really well. It was a 2-on-1. No, it wasn't. It was young Soulis. Probably not a bad free kick to give away there because South were completely out had he not held that up.
Which Nordell was that, John? Was that
Bodie?
Bodie,
Yep,
I thought
number
that
one.
was.
That was a great
That was a
great
brilliant
work.
tackle.
Yeah. So now Jace Cormac in front of the interchange. He comes back inside to that man we just spoke of in Nordell. He's got the mark right on the tram line of the centre square on true wing position. Not
pretty
sure
stagnant
they've
up
shut
front.
him down. Yep, they're going to make him kick up and under, which he's fought now. He's got some space
That
out
was
the
a
back.
clever
Yeah, it was a good kick. Soulis just drifted off Sawyer then, and now he's going to give the handball to Cormac. You can see that. That was in the post from last week. Cormac now he's forced to kick deep in the pocket to Blaine Johnson. That's gone out on the full. Yep, she's gone just a bit too wide. You could see that. I mean, you can't...
No, it was pretty well telegraphed, wasn't it? But it's unusual for Jace Cormac. Normally very, very clever on 5 foot.
Yep. So Heenan deep in the back pocket, trying to relieve the pressure for the Lions. 46 plays 52, 14 minutes into the third quarter. We've got a good game of football here. He drives to the wing. John Manuel, he's in the best position to mark. Good mark there from Galloway at the back. He just floated over across the back. And a good kick. He's got Bourne now. He's got space in front. Golder, well done there by Golder. But Bourne's eagle to the task. Picks up the loose ball. He screws back. And I tell you what, Tommy Heenan from the clouds. He's jumped the fence to get his hand right on the goal line. And he saved a certain goal there. Now he plays on quickly. He's moved the ball very quick. He's got Milner. He gives Will York. Well, he's pushed off the line of the ball. What's the umpire played? No, just come back, son, over the mark.
They're not letting South set up their zone on the way back in.
Well, that's what you've got to do. You've got to move the ball quick. Sometimes you're not going to get it on your terms, but move the ball quick and break the defence up that way. So Fenwick now, down the line. They got a 2-on-1 here. Over the back of Milner. He's having a purple patch, this kid. I said, Craney, he has a special talent.
CPR outdoor to send a marker.
That was a real good effort. I tell you what, he's got. That was a good kick across here. Now Pierce Ferguson, run and go. Kick it, son. You're going to get run down. Good kick inside 50. Ward comes up at South through Sawyer. He could have marked it. Well, he does. No, he doesn't. Now he's under a bit of pressure. Good pressure there. Well done, Horsman. He's under all sorts of pressure. That is dropping the ball. As the umpires know, he give him the time. Very, very lucky to get out of that. Now South Bunbury trying through Chitty. He handballs back inside to Goiter, is it? They're a bit unsure what they're doing here. Crawford just whacks it onto the left boot. HBL have the numbers down here. Good effort there from Waldrod over the back. Tartaglia's taken high. A slam tackle, whatever you want to call it. I think they pay too many of them, Craney. They get drawn into thinking that someone might get hurt on them tackles. There was no vicious. It was probably the high tackle was the kick.
AFL as well. That
dangerous. Was a terrible kick. He centres up to his captain and put him under all sorts of pressure. Lane, who's had a very quiet day, goes long and he goes wide and has beat everything out of bounds. She rolls. There was an opportunity there for South Bunbury to hit the scoreboard. And that was a bad kick from HBL. The sun was in the eyes of everyone, but
he's been well held today, Lane, and he's been able to get rid of the defensive unit of most clubs this year. But HBL have done it very well. They're swapping a few through him, so 40, doing it pretty well.
52 HBL lead South Bunbury 47. 16.5 minutes gone in the third quarter. We've got a boundary throw in right around between scoreboard and pocket for South Bunbury. Loose ball now, HBL run onto it. Young York, he beats a tackle. He slips around onto that left boot. It's gone wide. It's gone too wide, has it? Can't see where the boundary umpire is.
Too wide.
Yeah, too wide. It's out of bounds on the full. About 65 metres out from the South Bunbury goal. So right on that far side.
South Bunbury goals are dried up.
All goals are dried.
Yeah, they have. It's a great game to watch.
It is.
The Bell's absolutely...
As I said, it's not a physical game. It's a great game of footy where a lot of Blaine Johnson's going to mark this, is he? He's come from 10 deep and he's been good enough to stand his ground and take the mark, and he's trying to suck the umpire in for 50.
Yeah, I don't think he'll wear that.
Not for that. So he's marked the ball about 45 metres out.
That was a good grab, wasn't it?
Yeah, you could see he was coming from the back of the pack and he had eyes for the footy.
He had a fair bit of pressure around him.
Yep.
Even Big Fletch in that contest.
It needed to be destroyed, and someone coming with him or over the top and just punch the air out of the footy, but it didn't happen. And now Blaine Johnson will go back and line up for his third or fourth, Craney?
Fourth for James Johnson.
Yeah. In he comes. Goes straight
off the boot,
over the
good.
Goal umpire's head, through for a major, so they still back the lead. 7-11-53 lead, 7-10-52 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard.
Great crowd here too. Balcony is full up there after the President's lunch, which was very entertaining to say the least.
Yep, and we're calling from right amongst the crowd.
Yeah, we're right in amongst it. But a good game of footy, isn't it? 7-11-53 to 7-10. 1 point the ball game, and with 17 minutes into the third quarter, thanks to Lindmark Bearing Equipment and Geograph Industrial Supplies.
I like this change they've just made with Bennett going forward, because young Hamish Ward's done a real good job. He's just a bit slow, and now Bennett, who can run and he can jump, if they can get some service in down deep to him, he could cause some headache. So in the middle of the ground, Frencher just waits and grabs it. Now he handballs over top, but Blake Pickett's good enough to read the footy. He handballs wide to Nordell. He's got the runner in Crawford coming from half back. He just drives long on that left boot towards lane. Williams out with him. Now foot race. Johnny Fenwick and Hutchison. Who's going to win the race of the ball? Hutchison overruns it. Fenwick's there. He just waits, so he just throws that back. We got one called a minute ago, and that was every bit of a throwback. But anyway, now the York's under all sorts of pressure. He's good enough to get around.
Out of there very
well
nicely.
Done. Now he's going to run from behind. Just chips that ball into the middle of the ground. HBL have the numbers. Can they win the loose ball? Caboni, he one way or the other. He can't get his foot to the ball. Now South Bunbury have the numbers. They've won the footy. Oh, Bain's taken high. Was it Bain? He's had his head ripped off.
The young bloke had just gone forward, copped a bit of a heavy knock too, so
yeah.
Not a bad sort of ploy.
He'll just give them a bit of bite forward if they can get the ball forward. Deep into attack, a bit of push and shove, and that's carried the pack and gone through for a minor score. So South Bunbury 7.
Rod adds out of the background.
He looked like they had two at the back there, so HBL will dodge a bullet. So Fenwick, he goes out wide out there to Golder. He's got a couple of yards. Probably should have played on then. They look better when they keep the ball moving. He comes inside to Matty Fenwick. He's going to now handball back to Golder. He's got a couple of yards. He's closed down. Well done there by Siska. Now York, he handballs inside to Golder. He's still running. Just one too many handballs. A good pick up there from Ferguson, but he's wrapped up straight away. Riley, he's slipped the tackle there. He handballs inside to Siska. A good looping handball out wide towards Blake Piggott. Now, the ball's beat them all out of bounds. Around there, about 70 metres out from the South Bunbury goal. We'll have a boundary throw in. 54 plays 52 at the 20-minute mark of the third quarter.
Tell you what, it'll be a great game to play in. This ball is absolutely singing.
It certainly is. As I said, there hasn't been any big hits or whatever. There hasn't needed to be. It's just been a game of skill, which has been good. Fletcher works his way to the front. Fedley comes over the top. No one can get a loose ball. Now at the back there, Saulis. He's wrapped up and brought to the ground right on the paint of the 50-metre arc in front of the scoreboard on the far side of Hands Memorial Oval.
Thanks to the Hollow Beach Bar and Grill. I hope you're keeping all the stats there, are you, Johnny?
So
inside 50s would be interesting.
Yeah, South have evened it up, especially this quarter. They've had more ball going forward. So the ball rolls out of bounds again in that same area. HBL had a couple of chances earlier in that mid part of the quarter where Milner had a lot of ball on that side. He just had to wheel on that left foot and just drive it in long and deep and cause chaos inside 50 instead of sort of trying to get the half forward. So up they go again. Fletcher just grabs it. He just pokes it on the boot. Now Anderson runs on a loose ball. He's well wrapped up. He was through then, but he's no play on is a call. South Bunbury have the loose now. Now a number of players around it. Who wants it the most? Pierce Ferguson's over. He's taken by Piggott. Now the ball rolls out of bounds and we're going to have a boundary throw in again on that far wing in front of the crowd. A few people on the boots of the cars over there on the back of the utes.
Yeah, it looks pretty comfortable, enjoying the sunshine at Hands Oval. As we have a throw-in, outer side, right in front of all those people, John. Two ruckman go to Pedley and Fletcher. Not much happens with it.
Well done by Ferguson. He's pushed up his kick. Now Martin, the goal scorer for HBL, he gets, well, that was well done. He gives it to Pierce Ferguson. This puts the back line under pressure now. Well done there by the play there in Crawford for South Bunbury. His toe poke goes, doesn't go too far, but over the footy is,
yeah, he got a toe poke
almost
to
like we've seen last week with young Kendall.
That was amusing.
Yeah. So on that far wing, we've got a ball up now. It's probably the slowest this game's been, this last minute or two.
The players just taking a bit of a breath at the 21-minute mark of the third quarter.
Yep. So Fletcher, Pedley. Fletcher wins or not. Who's going to win it? No one. Fletcher goes again. He hits it wide. Who's running outside? Who's going to be first? That man Anderson. He goes one way or the other. Good luck catching him, as we've said many times today. He has one bounce. He has two bounces. He can have another one if he wants. He comes back inside. Chips that towards Billy Boucher. Will it carry? Oh, he just couldn't take the mark. Now South have numbers. They pick up a loose ball. Go inside to Bourne in the centre square. What's he going to do? He's pointing. He wants to go out towards the scoreboard. He signals to Blaine Johnson. He's played from behind. No one can run on it. Crane can't take it. Williams picks up a ball. He's got in all sorts of trouble. He's slung as he's handballed. Now Golter. He goes one way or the other. What's he done? He's stood up in a tackle. He's got Anderson. Now run and clear, son. He has a bounce. He goes one way or the other. He turned himself inside out. He's tongue twisting me. Picked up there by Saulis on the far side. Needs a handball, and he does. But South have the numbers through Piggott. He's forced to handball over top. Bain picks up the ball. He just chips inside 50 at a real good effort. That's going to be a free kick, is it? Yeah, that had to be a free kick.
Arms.
To who was the player out there? I can't see. He's lying on the ground.
Looks like Cormac.
Is it? Yeah, he's right up against the paint, right in front of the scoreboard. It was a good kick from Bain there. Kept it low, give the defender no chance. He had to interfere to try and affect the spoil, and that's what's happened. And the umpire said you can't do that. So Jace Cormac will go back and kick from about 50 metres out, hard up against the boundary. It'll take a good kick or it'll take a good mark in the goal square. So 54 plays 52 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. 23 and a half minutes ticking down. In he comes. Will he get the journey, Craney?
He's got plenty of skill, Johnny.
Yeah, he definitely has plenty of that. Oh, he just chipped short. He chipped too short. So now, good follow-up there. Now there's HBL have turned the ball over. Pierce Ferguson, he just does a game of whatever you can do, I can do better at the moment, some of these little errors. So Bodie Nordell, he takes a good kick. He pins the ears back from 55. Oh, Bourne goes up almost. He didn't mark it. It could be a free kick, is it? Yep. The umpire says if you're going to do that, you've either got to mark it, son, or she's a free kick. So no score count. Xavier Williams, he chips. Oh, geez, some loose ball going here now. There's a bit of pressure going on, and some HBL need this to go out of bounds, and it does. You can see they want to keep the ball moving. At Sunrise, you just got to be. You got to think twice about where you actually are on the footy field. And in a defensive 50, you've got to be a little bit more careful, and you just can't keep it going. Sunrise. So the boundary's thrown in front of the scoreboard. Fletcher and Pedley. Fletcher, he goes down, but it's all South Bunbury. Siska wins a handball towards Cormac as he just hooks that ball around, and she's gone. Didn't come far enough over the retrovision fence sign there, out of bounds on the full, deep in that forward pocket for South Bunbury. As I said, 54 plays 52 as we tick towards 25 minutes into the third quarter.
Quick around the grounds too, thanks to Geograph Civil. All over down at Dunsborough. Busselton big winners, 20 goals 11 to Dunsborough 3-7. And Kerry Park made a fair fist of it, but they didn't get there. Donnybrook 16-3-99 defeated Kerry Park 13-9-87.
So the ball's cleared down to the wing area. A number of players around it. Good tackle applied on the, what's the umpire paid? It's not. I thought he paid a high there, but
thanks
give it
to MGIB, like a good neighbour, MGIB is always there.
Ball in the air. Fletcher, Pedley over the top this time. Anderson, can he work onto the loose ball? No. Bain's going to win the race of footy. He's well tackled there by York. Play on's the call. Picked up there by Cormac as he's got busy in the last few minutes. Wilson kicks that ball long to about 40 metres out from the goal. Johnson, but a good defensive mark.
That's a great mark.
Right on the siren taken by Xavier Williams. And as we hear the three-quarter time siren, 7-12-54, leads 7-10-52 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard and sets up a cracker last quarter.
An absolute, surely does, Johnny, and a beauty of a game we're privileged to watch on the Southwest Football League. Hope you're enjoying it on the SEN app or the SEN radio, wherever you might be listening. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back for what promises to be a riveting last quarter. Southwest Football League, proudly brought to you by KFC and our great mates at Dale Orcock Home Southwest. What a game of footy we've got on our hands. A 2-point lead to South Bunbury. They haven't been beaten all year. Can this be the day that HBL make it a little bit difficult for the Lions? I mean, the Lions will still the Tigers will still finish on top of the ladder, but HBL, well, they've thrown it right at the league leaders, Johnny.
Yeah, it's been a cracking game, as we said. Cranio is the best one we've sat through all year. It's been, other than probably the last 5 minutes, it stalemated out a little bit. But other than that ball's been flinging around, and there's been some good decisions made by players on both sides. There's been, daring kicks, daring runs, some good goals kicked at both ends. So, we've got 2-point ball games. We've been playing 3 quarters as a stalemate on the scoreboard pretty much, so we'll see who wants it the most now.
And the skill level has been outstanding, haven't some of the marks, the kicks, as you said, and the players just look like they've got so much confidence in each other to nail the shots or having a bit of a crack at it, and I like that. To get somewhere, you need to be courageous. Yeah,
you're dead right. See, South have put Horsman into the ruck and brought Pedley to the bench. I think Fletcher's dominated. Probably not as much in the air as what he has around the ground with his ground balls and just general play. So
we spoke about Jay Crosman.
Yeah, this is where
he's a big out.
Well, this is where it counts now.
Absolutely, with Horsman, with Jay Crosman's there, you can throw Horsman into the ruck and you don't really lose a tour from down back. So they have to revamp it a little bit.
Well, now they've got to recheck their back line as well. So you're taking your key defender out, and it just makes a little hole in your back line. So if HBL again, it's all about getting service forward. So we'll see what happens.
All's going to happen. Here we go, SEN Spirit, and this is John Bajetta.
And straight out of the middle of the ground goes Will York. He has one bounce. He's almost run down there by Siska, but he drives that ball forward. Who's over the back? Callaway. He just throws that to his teammate down there in Siska, I think it was, and the ball's gone out of bounds right in front of the scoreboard. It was not Siska, it was young Baskerville. We're a long way away, but that just looked like a side pass.
Someone went down in the middle of the ground for South Bunbury, and the umpires just pulled it up a little bit.
Lane, is it? Does he wear a helmet?
No, I think it might be young Siska.
Oh, yeah.
He's holding his knee. The umpires have pulled it up.
It was on the chase because he was the one who chased York.
And
you don't want to see this?
No.
He's getting up now.
They're getting him to his feet. So hopefully there's not too much damage done in that respect. And the ball has gone out of bounds right in front of the scoreboard down there, Johnny, which reads 7-12-54 South Bunbury. Lead HBL 7-10-52. It's been a long day at the office, John.
I think Greenie must have whacked you a couple of times, did he?
Well, I stirred him up a little bit, so it was. I tell you what, he still looks very, very fit.
Yeah,
I wouldn't like to
go a few rounds.
He was showing us a couple of moves in there, and I wouldn't like to be on the end of him.
No, I seen him walk in, and he looked very trim.
Terrific speaker. Looks
like an ankle by the way he's hobbling off.
He went down the rooms earlier on in the day. So
Yeah,
we hope he's all right. A bit tender coming off onto the Harvey Norman interchange bench. Thanks to Halfhouse. Get that Halfhouse feeling.
The game should be started. The guy's way on the other side of the plate now. It is thrown in. So Fletcher and Horsman. Fletcher wins a knock this time. No one can take it. Bain just gets a quick kick out. It's going to go out of bounds.
We can't afford too much more time, John.
Bit of push and shove down there.
We're just past our deadlines later on.
We'll be cut off and still 2 minutes to go and it'll be a goal after siren. No one will know what happened.
Bryant's back in the studio feverishly pressing some buttons.
So boundary throw in about 65 metres away from the HBL goal. Fletcher and Horsman. Horsman this time slapped down. Now Matty Fenwick's going to run onto loose ball. Piggott dives in. Play on's a call. Number of players and the umpire says it's gone out of bounds again. So a bit of a ball magnet over there on that fence.
Yeah.
Seagulls are getting friendly, Craney. I hope they don't
very interesting
come and
group
leave something
sitting
with us.
on the cars over there. I bet they're giving plenty of advice to the players.
Yes, no doubt about it. What's happened here? We've got a whistle off the play to HBL free kick, is it? To Young York, is it? No. Yep, it is. Young Will York.
He's showed a bit, hasn't he, Young
He's
York?
a very, very good player, this kid. So in he goes, low kick. Who's leading up? It's a good kick, almost a good mark to young May. No one can take the footy now. She's a loose ball, 30 metres out from an HBL goal. South Bunbury have the numbers. Now May goes back in, head over the footy. He can't pick it up. South Bunbury player picks it up. He's taken the ground. Now we'll have a ball up about almost on the top of the goal square for HBL. So
our mate Jared O'Brien, he'll be on his way to Collie now, but he actually tipped HBL.
He did, but he changed his tip on there. He went for South.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Didn't have courage and conviction?
No, couldn't follow it through. I can't talk because I said it earlier in the week when they had some outs. Oh, young Templeton's taken. He's wrapped up in a good tackle, still 25 metres from his attacking goal. We'll have another ball up.
This is where HBL got to be careful. They don't let the break go.
No, they've done well for 3 quarters. As you said, it's played for 4 quarters. Here we go again. Ruckman go at Ward. He hits that back to his teammate there. Piper up and under. Where's that going to go? Straight up in the air. Who wants it the most? Crawford double fist. No one can win the footy. Him and Piggott go from each other. Anderson, he wills one way. He wills the other. Hard up against the boundary line in front of the scoreboard. Puts it up and under. Who's going to go first? Milner goes over top. He can't take the mark. And she's gone out of bounds about 15 metres around from the HBL goal. Hard up against the retrovision
See,
fence.
I tell you what, it's enjoyable. You mentioned probably our best game we've covered. It's just the quickness of it, the skill level of it. It's just entertaining to watch. And this big crowd, fairly enthralled in it.
Yep, boundary throw in. Ruckman go at it. Fletcher and Horsman. No one can win the knock. Goes to the ground. Who's going to pick up a loose ball? South Bunbury. The kick smothered there by Piper. He works onto the loose ball. Can he keep it in? He does. He goes one way or the other. He just checks sides at top of the goal square. Where's it going to fall? Is luck going to be a fortune? Nordell spoiled. And she rolls through from behind. 54 plays 53 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. We've been ticking over 4 minutes into the last quarter. And we've got a game on our hands here at Hands Oval.
Nothing in the bank yet, thanks to the Bank of Queensland of Bunbury.
So Goyder, he says to his players, run out to that far wing. That's where I'm going. He comes back a bit more central. Who's underneath the footy? Bajetta's in front. He's taken a good contested mark. Horsman was coming over the top.
I'll give him credit for that, mate, because you probably won't.
As you know, Craney, there's nothing harder
strong
than call your own child. He chips down the middle, but Ward from behind and Nordell just chips in front. Now he's going to switch. He's going to come out this side. He's got a player there in Waldrot. He's good enough to take the mark in front of Saulis. He's got a runner outside in Cole Sawyer. He's going to have a bounce there. He can have 2 bounces. He can probably have 3 bounces.
He likes that.
Good Shepherd from Waldrot there. He can have another bounce if he wants to. A bit unsure. He kicks into the direction of HBL Sport himself there. A young player in Gallagher picks up a loose ball. Had more time than he realised. He slots it towards goal. She goes to the right-hand side, through for a behind. 55 plays 53. Anderson takes a relieving mark at back pocket. He chips inside to Templeton, right on the 50-metre defensive arc. What's he got in front of him? So it's a bit stagnant. HBL got numbers behind the ball.
There'll be some tight players in front of you.
Yeah, there certainly is. Oh, dangerous kick. Horsman comes over top. He just destroys that. Loose ball picked up there. Now Bourne. He's run on the 50. Goes one way there. Check side. She squeezed that ball. Who's going to win the race back? Tommy Heenan wins the race back. She rolls through for behind. Just in front of Heenan. He didn't mind that rolling through for a point.
Horsman did that pretty well. He went to spoil, but he knew Riley was...
He
spoiled towards Riley.
Yep.
And sometimes players just spoil for the sake of spoiling.
That's right. He knew. He said he knew what was there. It was almost like a ruck tap down to his crummers, and they set up again. So Xavier Williams, what's he going to do? He's going to go to that dead side, is he? He breaks the set, the back square. Away he goes. Deep end, that far side. Dangerous kick. Dangerous kick through his teammate in Anderson out there. Or Johnny Fenwick it was. It set him up. South had the numbers come over the top. So we're stagnant. 55, 60 metres around from the South Bunbury goal. 3 points the margin. 56, 53. 6 minutes gone in the last quarter. Who's going to break from this clearance? Fletcher and Horsman. Fletcher works his way to the front, just drops it down. Who can run on the loose ball? Fletcher goes himself. He's brought to ground by Piggott.
He's a big man when he's coming at a mile an hour, isn't he?
He's actually quite agile. He's got himself into some real good nick.
Thanks to City and Regional Fuels for your support this afternoon. I tell you what, these players will be out of petrol by the time they finish this afternoon.
Fletcher, Cormac takes it. He's wrapped up in a tackle. He's going nowhere. We're going to have a ball up, are we? We're dropping a ball. Ooh, that was...
Didn't have a lot of chance to get rid of that.
No, he was wrapped up straight away. But, as you say, Croney, you take them because when you think you're getting them, you don't get them.
Luke Bennett comes back on off the Harvey Nyman interchange bench for HBL, moving to half forward.
Yep. So, young York, he goes down the line. It goes over the top of Ward and Crawford. He's going to come into the middle of the ground. He hits Gallagher. He just slides in. He's called to play on. They've got some overlap run here. Good pressure from behind. Kick from Galloway goes toward Blaine Johnson. He sets. He led his opponent to the footy there. He takes the mark 45 metres out on a slide angle. He's kicked the hard ones. He's missed the easy ones.
That's been a good duel, though. I know that Johnson's kicked to 4, but Tremp's done pretty good on him.
Well, he kicks 3 out of his backside virtually, so he's had to work for him, and he's missed 3 set shots. So, like I said, he's worked for his goals, and he hasn't had it all his own way today. So when he comes, he'll kick from right on the paint at 50. Distance won't be a problem. Will he have the accuracy? But in he comes. Beautiful run in, but it's gone to the left. It's going to hang. It's not going to go to the line. Over the back went Cormac. He couldn't bring it down. Out of bounds she goes, and we'll have a boundary throw into the left-hand side of the goalpost.
A lot of those balls, even last week or last time we called here, John, they fade to the left.
To that left. It's almost like that wind tunnel there.
Yeah, that's right. Do we blame the stand on that?
Not there. Maybe the hill, the entrance. We come down that hill. Boundary throw in, Fletcher and Horsman. Fletcher moves Horsman. No one can take it. The 2 South Bunbury players running at each other. Over the footy is a number of players, and we'll have a ball up about 35 metres out, directly in front of the South Bunbury goal as Fenwick and Bain for their 2 teams get up. Now Fletcher and Horsman again. This time Fletcher, he just goes longer. Riley's, he slips the ground over the top when the HBL player play-on's a call. And what are we called? Was it high? Not sure what he's done. I think it was a high tackle. It was more of a slip. It wasn't. It was his good luck in the end.
He'll be having a shot.
He'll be having a shot on goal.
40. Yeah, I think he lost his feet at an inopportune moment.
Yep.
Tell you what has been good, the discipline from both these sides.
Yeah.
And that's what they're going to need going into finals. Too often you see, as soon as the pressure goes on, undisciplined acts, you give too much ground away.
Yeah. So Blake Riley had a ripper first half. He was a bit quieter in that third quarter, but can he extend the lead 56-53? As he comes in, he's going to kick from 45 metres out. Slide angle, that's not a bad looking kick, but she feigns across. She's going all the way, and Tommy Heenan marks it just in front of the point post. He chips down the line to Will York. He's got the mark in front of Blaine Johnson. He's got an extra here right in front of us in Fierce Ferguson. He decides to play on and go along. Oh, he's in trouble.
Right in front of the South Bunbury members stand.
Yeah, he hasn't played on this ground. He probably doesn't realise that it's a little bit greasy where that shadow is.
Yeah.
And anyway, he was good enough to get his handball out, but it was a good effort by Blaine Johnson to close down the space and wrap him up in a good tackle. So 45 metres out from the South Bunbury goal. Right in front of us, we got a ball in. Fletcher's front position. He just whacks that forward. Oh, right on there by Chitty. No one can take it. Cormac can't take it. Williamson picks up the footy. He goes towards York. He's wrapped up again by his nemesis in Blaine Johnson, and we'll have a stalemate ball
if
up.
you look at him, not you again.
Yeah. Didn't I just come running into you down the street? So 40 metres out from the south goal. Fletcher and Horsman. Just needs just a big whack either way from either ruckman. Up they go. Fletcher, he just pats that down to the boundary. HBL have the numbers. York this time, he doesn't try and do too much. It's going to bounce in front of Waldrop. It's going to sit up. Ward had to go harder at him. He rats him up in a real good tackle. Probably thought he could have hit him a bit harder and taken him over the line, but it was a good tackle. And Kay Waldrop had nowhere to go, so right in front of us, we've got a ball up.
This is perfect, Johnny.
Yeah, we can see everything, Croney. Oh, something happened there. We didn't see that. Anyway, numbers at it. Fletcher's over the footy. Now he can't take it. Cormac picks up. He handballs to Chitty. He goes one way or the other. He's not sure what to do. He gives it back to Cormac. He's no good playing for free kicks off the ball. Just hunt down your opponent and try and win the footy back. Out they go wide on that far side to Siska, is it? Not Siska, it's lost my name. Sawyer. He goes wider to Blake Piggott. What's he going to do? He's looking for Johnson. No, it's not. Richie Bourne. Oh, wall drop, finger tipper. Unmanned there, dangerous spot, 45 metres out, directly in front of goal.
He played that pretty well, Waldrop. He was right in front of us, and he just fell back a little bit and waited to drift in. There's a bit of an art in doing that. There's an art in leading, but there's art in drifting.
Yeah, he had Bourne coming up behind him on the lead, so either way, I'm pretty sure they would have taken a mark 45 metres out from goal. So they've done all the attacking in the opening 7 or 8 minutes of the quarter. Can they ice the goal here? In he'll come. He'll kick from 50 metres, almost directly in front. So Cade Waldrop. In he comes. 1, 2, 3. Lets it go. She's not a bad-looking kick, Craney. That's straight over the goal umpire's head. A much-needed goal. So the crowd are pretty up and about now. It's taken them all day to get some voice. They've been sitting on the edge of their seat, wondering if the bubble was going to burst today, but now they've... it's a good time to be in front of the last quarter.
It is at that. Waldrop, as I said, that was that was clever. He just sneaked into the right spot. As you said, Bourne was hunting out the roll. He just got the fingertips onto that. Very good kick of the footy, and a lot of people have been missing. So South Bunbury, 8 goals, 14-62. Lead the HBL, 7 goals, 11-53. Still plenty left in this game at the 12-minute mark of the last quarter, thanks to Lindmark Bearing Equipment and Geograph Industrial Supplies.
Don't like the setup in the middle of the ground for HBL at the moment. All their keys are out and they're inexperienced ruckman in there. So this is a chance for South to really drive a wedge in the game now. Horsman, he just rips it out of the ground. He's well tackled, but luckily, and he's penned for dropping the ball. Well, luck's a fortune for HBL. Apply the tackle, get up and drive that ball forward, son. So he handballs to Anderson. He won't catch him in a fit. And away he goes, one bounce. And then he chips short towards young Manuel, right on 50 metres. Manuel. He needs to kick a thing long. Yeah. He's right on top of the 50. Now he's called to play on. He just floats it into the forward pocket, but Goyder comes through and affects the spoil out of bounds, 25 metres around between the pocket and the scoreboard. So HBL to say they'll need a goal here is an understatement to stay in the game. But South, as I said, I think HBL have got a very inexperienced midfield in there at the moment, so if South can take advantage of that for the next 5 minutes while Fletcher and them are off the ground, it could be the telling part of the game. Horsman again rips it. He could have done again if he's not careful. It's rolled out of bounds, is it? No, HBL will pick it up. Milner's, how did he get that far clear, Craney? He's marked the ball. How did he get clear? And he's still clear. He had that much time. Oh, I thought it went out of bounds. Everyone must have thought it went out of bounds and stopped because we're only 35 metres out from goal, but he had 20 metres clear in the goal square. He's marked it, turned around and whacked it through, so they close the gap back to when that scoreboard comes back up. And these kids are creating a bit of havoc in front of us. 8-14-62, lead 8-11-59 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. We've been playing about almost 15 minutes in the third quarter as we see the interchange bench being rolled. But
thanks to Harvey Norman. I tell you what, this game just keeps on giving, doesn't it? If this is what we've got to look forward to in the next few weeks, should be thoroughly enjoyable because this game has had everything you'd want to do to sit and watch a game of footy.
Well, it just shows, if you can stick it, if you can take it up to
we talk about 4 quarters, didn't we?
You've got to play 4 quarters, and I say, HBL have got another 15 minutes to go and keep attacking, and if they can do it, they could have their nose in front at the end. Again, Horsman's up. Well done there by Ward. He made a contest. Good effort there by the goal kicker in, who was it for HBL? Bronson Martin. He just drives that forward. Stacks up. Numbers to the ground now. South have the numbers. They can pick up a loose ball. Can Galloway, he handballs towards Piggott. He's running towards the boundary. The kick smothered. Now who's going to run onto the loose ball? Piers Ferguson. Well done. He breaks a tackle. Gets the handball forward. Well to Manuel. He goes to the top of the goal square. Who's out? The back's Luke Bennett. Up he goes. Did he mark it?
Oh, if he did.
That's what I was talking about, Craney. There's one bloke that can jump into the sky.
Centre. Wow.
He's dropped it. Oh, it would have been a freak of a mark. It would have been mark of the year anywhere in Australia. That would have been. Anyway, through from behind. Goyder plays on. Straight down the middle of the ground he goes. Up there goes Riley. He can't take the marks. Played on. It rolls towards his teammate there in lane. He has one bounce. He's going to have another bounce, is he? He can keep running. Drives that forward. HBL have the numbers in front, and Heenan, good voice. He's got his skipper loose out here in front of us in Johnny Fenwick. He's got a little one over the top of his quick enough in Blake Soulis. Will he use him? Yes, he will. Soulis has got the mark and half back in front of us. He's got players down the line. He's going to have to be careful. He's going to go to the middle of the ground. Good kick. Good kick it was. He hits Bronson Martin. in the middle of the ground. He's got a runner wide. He's got Matty Fenwick coming off half-back. That ball doesn't sit. Now it will sit for him. He needs to pick this up and get the ball down the line. He's got Pierce Fergus in front of him. He elects to go over the top. Young Templeton, is it? Latrell May. He couldn't quite pull in the one-hander. That's had everything, that patch of play.
That was absolutely brilliant.
So we've got a 2-point ball game. 16 and a half minutes ticked down. We've got about 10 minutes to play.
Nordell over the other side there too, John.
That must have went out on the full, did it?
I must have.
Something's happened. So play on's the call now. Pickett's going to run onto a loose ball at the back. He goes one way or the other. He's shut down there by the player in Martin, but it lacks a fortune. Xavier Williams is able to cut that off.
Been really good down there.
He's
Xavier,
had a good. He's actually had a good
for
block
Garage
of.
Stores Southwest.
He's had a good month or so of football. He was a bit shaky at the start of the year, but he's back to his best. So he drives up and under down that wing. Get under that, fellas. So South have the numbers. And
Get under that, everyone did. Literally went under it because the ball went straight over the back.
HBL need to get Fletcher back on the ground. They need to get Anderson. If they want to win this game, they need to get all them big guns back around the football.
Gee, it's been an entertaining game of Southwest Footy League.
It certainly has. Riley's got about 15 metres at the back here. If Horsman flicks his back, South will be running down. He'll hit Blaine Johnson lace out. So what's he going to do here? Horsman works you by the front. He hits forward. No one can take the footy. Martin, he handballs forward and it's gone out of bounds in the same position, right on that far wing.
Crowd invested in this game.
No one's going to take their eye off the pill. It's got everyone engaged. So 2-point ball game, 17 and a half minutes ticking down. Ruckman go at it. Horsman again works to the front. Just too much craft over the young fella in Ward at the moment. So Cormac can't. He tries to burrow his way through. And umpire Hutchison says, I'm having none of that. Give it here. I'll throw it up. So you've got a stalemate on that wing.
Looking for a tackle of the game too, thanks to Bunbury Mower Service, although I reckon we've already got that one in the bag.
Up they go. Horsman again. He had his runner there. Well done by Bourne. He's had a quiet afternoon, but he put the afterburners on. He's had 2 bounces. He's careful. He's going to get run down. He's got Bain. He goes one way or the other. He's got a loose in Gallagher. He elects not to use him. Johnny Fenwick in front of Blaine Johnson. Well done. Great courage, but he's got nothing on this fat side. He's forced to kick up and under. Where's it going to bounce? Lux of Fortune, is it? No, it's not. Young Sawyer's toe poked at that. Siska. It's gone. It was a good effort. It was a good effort, but it went out of bounds. Unluckily for him and probably for HBL, luckily. So Johnny Fenwick, what will he do this time? He just had a courageous moment a minute ago, a real captain's effort, put his body on the line in front of the raging Johnson.
All day.
He certainly has had a good day. They just need something here. No one, well done there by Waldrott. He runs onto the ball. He's shut down. Good tackle on lane by South Bunbury slip. They got numbers all around the footy. Who wants it the most? Riley, he can't take it. Now, number of players all over the footy. And what's the umpire going to say? Give it here. We'll bounce it up 45 metres out from the South Bunbury goal. A bit of slipping and sliding out there, Crady.
Oh, she is on, mate.
Run straight lines, get it on the boot. That's all you can do in a tense moment. That's a hold there. Play on's a call now. Waldrott, he's been in the thick of it the last couple of plays. Oh, well done there. Play on's a call. Bain thought he marked the footy. He's wrapped up in a tackle. It must have been touched. The umpire called it early. The crowd's not happy, but the call was early, and we got a ball up 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle for the South Bunbury score.
I think Bain thought he had it as well, Johnny.
Yep. So up they go, Horsman and Ward. Ward, he holds his ground, but picked up there by, he slipped. Good umpiring there,
Crady. Good umpiring,
was,
absolutely was.
Riley, it was Chitty. He dropped into the tackle, and the umpire said, I'm looking at exactly what you're doing, and that is fair for the guy to tackle you. So, in the attack for South, Ward and Horsman. Horsman tries to backhand it. South have the numbers here. Who's running onto it? Siska, is it? He goes one way or the other. The kick smothered. Was it a touch? It's gone out on the full. Must have been touch, or it's...
Umpires called it touched. It's a throw
it must have been touched. It looked like it was touched. It's only in front of us. So
20-minute mark of the last quarter.
Time's ticking. So you'd rather be in front than behind at this stage of the game, that's for sure. So Ruckman go to it. Horsman, the ball's fallen low. He's jumped on it, and numbers are all around it. And
the ruckman's standing very deep there. That's been a few times the ball's gone in low. Yep. Maybe just stand a couple of foot further, couple of feet, couple of metres nowadays, isn't it?
Oh, that's over the shoulder. That was over the shoulder, and the umpire's seen it. I don't want to harp about Les Fletcher's injured, but I don't know why he's not on the ground. So Horsman's going to take a kick 35 metres out.
Now, I know Mr. and Mrs. Horsman watch the broadcast religiously, so Ben Horsman, no pressure on you, mate.
So he's taken his time too, which is not a bad thing to do. He's going to kick from probably 40 metres out. Will it fade left, Craney?
I don't know. There's a whole members stand
In he stutters. Direct approach. He's run straight and he's kicked straight, Craney. That's straight over the goal umpire's head. And they've extended the lead to 8 points on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. They've had to work for this today, and I'd say that's probably enough to get them over the line. Again, I can't see. I've been looking down the bench trying to see where Fletch is and whether they've iced him up because save him for next week. But it's been a telling part of this last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, look, the way HBL are going, there'd still be a little bit of life left in them yet because they've had the ability to score very quick, and their defensive unit to hold South Bunbury down to 9 goals is a pretty good effort.
Yeah, it's been. Just watch these kids in front of us. They're not worried about the game. They've got their own little game going on here.
Back in a clap of all the places to play, they play right in front of the camera.
So in the middle of the ground they go. Bennett and Horsman. Horsman takes it out of the ground. He's wrapped up. Play on's a call. Ball squeezes out the back, does it? Cormac's over the footy, and the umpire said, give it air. We'll start again. So Horsman again, he wrestles Bennett out of the way. No one can take the loose footy. Horsman's over the top of it. What's the umpire going to pay? He's going to pay dropping him. Oh, I thought the way he backed back and put his arms like there.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah. So time is the enemy now for HBL. They need to get one on the fly here and get it very, very quickly forward. Good effort there by the ruckman. Both at it. A number of players around it. No one can clear the dust bowl. We're going to have a ball up again in the middle of the ground. We certainly are. Either
result. I think both these teams would be quite happy. Firstly, South was having a real good hit out.
Yeah.
They've got the week off next week, so it's been a good build into the finals. Nothing beats games like this.
No, that's right. So Horsman, he goes forward, picked up there by young Templeton. His handball goes wide to Tartaglia. He just throws that towards Matty Johnny Fenwick. He goes down, young Milner. He's now Anderson. What's he going to do? He runs on the loose ball. He's going to bounce once. He's going to bounce twice. And he's going to slap this straight through the middle over the goal umpire's head. There's still a bit of life left in this game yet. We're back to a 2-point game. 23-odd minutes gone. And HBL will answer the goal there from Horsman with a goal through. Great running goal, opportunist goal from Ty Anderson. Back to a 2-point ball game on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. And we'll be ticking down to probably 2 or 3 more, 3 minutes at the most, I'd say, Craney. I think we've gone roughly 26 minutes in each quarter.
Oh, that is a fantastic goal. The whole setup was pretty good by HBL. I like the way they're using the footy, and they just take the game on at all costs. And Ty Anderson,
I don't know if that was a legitimate handball.
It was very slick.
It was
very quick hands, Scotty.
Someone like Matty Johns would have been happy with that flick out, more so than people here supporting South Bunbury if they've seen it. But anyway, scores on the ball. We're back to the middle of the ground. Bennett goes up. Good knock. He goes over the top. Now Cormac. He just ferals his way through. He's dropped after he kicked it, and Hutchison umpire says, yep.
It'll be a kick down the ground, I think.
Yeah, he thought twice if I'm going to pay it or not. It was one of them ones, well, you're not going to argue that it was paid, and you probably wouldn't argue if it wasn't paid. But anyway,
Richie Bourne has
had
a
very pretty quiet afternoon by his standards. He'll kick from probably 43 or 4 metres out directly in front.
Got the one goal this afternoon that was an absolute beauty.
It was early in the game, and I said he has really been very, very quiet since that moment. So in he comes, directly in front. A good-looking kick off the boot. It's gone right, and it has stayed right. The gate's still open. Time is the nemesis. We've played 25 minutes.
It probably works into HBL's favour here. They've got a fair run at it, especially with the new rules where you can come out a fair way.
Yeah, South are clogging up. They need to go long down the middle of the ground here. Just play for luck, get something over the back. Well, Anderson's broke on that far side. Bennett at the back. He's going to go up. He almost takes the mark over Piggott. Now the loose ball. Who's going to run on it? Well, HBL have the numbers. Fenwick's tripped, and the umpire called it. Yep. We had that stop of play for about a minute or two when young
so there's going to be a bit in it yet.
A bit longer than probably what we think in saying that. So Piper, he squeezed that ball, up and over the top. That's a free kick. Oh, he's paid a shepherd.
Gee.
And as you can hear, the crowd behind us not very happy. He went early, hands on the shoulder. He stayed there. He had him in a full Nelson, and the umpire said he was shepherded out of it. Anyway, So HBL, Saulis drives that long and high. Up they go. At the back was Milner. He couldn't take it. Who's over the footy now? Stacks on and about 30 metres out, directly in front of the HBL goal. We've got a ball up. So she was pretty willing there. They had a number of players, and young Milner was about 5 deep, and he looked like the most likely of them to take the mark, but we'll have a ball up. 30 metres out, 25 out from the HBL goal.
It's not for the lack of trying to take that mark of the
No, definitely
day.
not. Martin, Bennett, great ruck knock. HBL flicking the ball around. No one can take a clean possession. Someone's tackled the ground. The umpire's called, give it out. We'll start again.
Well, right in the HBL goal face.
It would be interesting to see, Craney, not for the game purpose, to see what sort of response. If HBL snuck a goal here and there was, say, 2 or 3 minutes to go, what would South do?
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
It would be, okay, the pressure's now on you. We'll return your serve and we'll see. We've had a crack all day. Let's see if you can come back at us. So 30 metres out from the HBL goal. South onto a loose ball now. Who's going to win the foot race to footy? Goiter just hits it forward. Well done there by Ned Golter. It was a high tackle out there on the HBL. Everyone's there. There's plenty of advice. Young York lifts himself from the paint.
He's been outstanding today.
He certainly has.
York.
He's worked his backside off for his team. So Will York, will he get the trip? He's going to kick from 50. I'm not sure how good a leg he's got, Craney.
He looks
He'd be pretty
confident
tired.
in himself.
Yeah, he went back to have a deliberate shot. He's now called play on. He's going to put it at the top of the goal square. This is Xavier Milner. And he comes at the back. Up he go. Did he? Oh, off hands it goes at the top of the goal square.
Talk about the pressure in a game of footy. 3 points of difference. 27 minutes gone in the last quarter.
It was set up for either Luke Bennett or Xavier Milner. Up they go. South are trying to rush it behind. There's a scrum of players there, and we've got a whistle. We're going to have another ball up.
Do you think big fist from South just to whack it through?
Yeah, and HBL will want to hit it back up the top here to give them a chance. You don't want to play safe. You've got to play bold. That's what wins games of football. Up they go, and South do take it out of the air. Play on's the call. Their arms are going up. Nope.
But arms going up. Umpire's going to bounce it again.
There's 27 or 8 players around that footy in the goal square for HBL. Can they pinch this? Up they go, off hands it goes. South Bunbury player, lucky, lucks of fortune. York, he's going to win the race to footy. He's tackled, well wrapped up down there, and a high tackle.
Oh!
Whoa!
Game on. Young York.
Young Will York.
Deep in that forward
He's
pocket.
a 17-year-old kid, Craney. His 3rd league game of footy. His first 2 games he's been best on ground. Can he now go back and put his HBL team in front on the siren, one would think?
Tell you what, he's got a bit of class.
He has got a lot of class. Now he's got a lot of pressure. He's screwed that. He is just across the face of goal. So we're to a 2-point ball game.
Wow, what a game of footy we have on our hands. 28 minutes into the last
Man
quarter.
up is the call. Everyone is man on man. Where is Tommy Goiter going to go?
I reckon he'd
He'd
as
have to
far
go
away from there as what he possibly
close to
could.
the boundary line as he possibly can, you would think. So now he's called to play on. He's going to go out that far side. Up and under. Who's underneath it? A number of South. Horsman's got the title. Play on's a call now. HBL.
It's coming back.
It's coming back. It's coming back. And here it comes. Up there's Latrell May. Play on's a call. Boucher can't work on it. He's tackled. He's well wrapped up. The umpire was on the blind side.
Plenty of it. This is absolutely brilliant.
Everyone's looking to see how long to go. I don't know where the time clock is around here. There couldn't be long. There'd be seconds, I reckon. Up they go. The umpire's called a Shepherd. The South Bunbury free kick. So maybe that was enough.
Ben Horsman will have the kick. Wow, the atmosphere, brilliant.
There she goes.
That is a South Bunbury victory by the 2 solitary points. South Bunbury 9 goals, 15-69. I've defeated the HBL 9 goals, 13-67, providing the goal umpires, the scoreboard has got that right. Johnny, what a magnificent game of footy.
That was a cracking game of football. It was. One side's won, but the other side could say they were very, very stiff not to win that game of football, and she went down literally to the wire.
Well, it just goes to show you that finals race, wide open, I would say. South hung on to win. Fantastic defensive effort by the HBL side. Let's quickly run through some awards thanks to the best on ground. Let's start there for the WA Carpet Supermarket. We'll make it pretty short and sharp.
Very, very. I think you'd batch up Bain, Riley, Anderson, Fletcher. That would be my 4. You could pick them in any order.
I reckon you're right. Pretty hard to give awards. The tackle of the game, that's a no-brainer, I think. That went to Bodie Nordell. Yeah. Absolutely. Thanks to Bunbury Mower Service, Preston Power Equipment. Best defender, I think Williams was pretty good at that as well. And the goal of the day, Western All Pest Services goal of the day. Richie Bourne down the back, maybe.
Some good goals.
Ty Anderson.
Yeah.
I reckon Ty Anderson kicked about 5 of them, so let's give it to him. The mark of the day for CPR Outdoor Sheds, Xavier Milner took an absolute screamer. We're getting through these pretty quick because our time out is pretty quick. There's no, thanks to the Bank of Queensland, there's no business like your business, the Bank of Queensland. Rising Star with the Hemp Brothers, Western Australia's most
that'd
trusted.
Be Young York by a mile. Young
York, outstanding. The big moments for Buckingham Butchers. That was absolutely the whole game of footy there. That was brilliant. Same as the peak performance for City and Regional Fuels. Absolutely brilliant. This is the post-game thanks to Linmark Bearing Equipment. Johnny, what a game of footy. Let's run through the goal squares. For South Bunbury, Blaine Johnson had 4. Cade Walrott got 2. Horsman 1, a very important one. Lockie Riley got 1. And for HBL, Bronson Martin, who had a fantastic day, got 3. Ty Anderson 2, absolute beauties. Emmanuel got 1 and May got 1, as well as Zabe Milner with the 2 goals. What do you think of that, Johnny?
Well, if finals are going to be like that, everyone who's paying to come through the gate would be very, very happy. I think South Bunbury won on the scoreboard, but I think it would be fair to say the winners of today, Harvey Brunswick, would be very, you don't like losing, but they played a very, very good game of football today.
Well, that is us from Hands Over. What a magnificent day at the football. I'm Alan Crane, and on behalf of John Bajetta, that's SEN Spirits coverage, and we'll see you next week.